God. We're spoiling who the cast is without having the recording going.
Did we?
Yes, we
This
did.
cast ain't.
Yes, we did. Hello.
How you doing?
And welcome to, yeah, you should do that more often.
How you doing?
Yeah. And welcome to the Parking Lot Projectionist podcast. My name is Andrew Levy.
And I'm Raymond Qualridge.
Oh, curveball, I see. Okay. I didn't know. And yesterday, we had seen...
Yesterday, not tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's right.
We had seen Don't Breathe.
Don't what?
Breathe.
Like, so what happens?
Exactly.
Well, if you don't breathe, you die. So these movies are just about dying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what happens. That would have been a good ending. At one point, I thought it was the ending. I clapped multiple times when I thought the movie was over, and then these people just came back to life for no reason. I clapped.
I saw you clap at one point. I can't remember what it was. What you clap for?
I thought they killed one of the main characters. I was like, yes, bravo. Okay, sorry. Raymond.
Huh?
What is Don't Breathe?
Don't Breathe is a 2006. What happened?
I know I usually edit it that way without the about, so go ahead.
Don't Breathe.
You did it manually, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have to edit it that way.
There we
Nice.
Go. Don't Breathe is a 2016 horror thriller. It is about... I don't like that synopsis. A group of friends break into the house of a wealthy blind man thinking they'll get away with the perfect heist. They're very wrong. This movie stars Stephen Lang, Colonel Quaritch himself, Jane Levi, Dylan Minette, and Daniel Zavato.
Okay, now we can get into what each of these people are from.
Well, Stephen Lang, if you don't know, it's Colonel Quaritch, just the man.
For people who don't recognize that name, elaborate.
James Cameron's Avatar. He's the main villain.
There you go.
Jane Levy, we spoiled for ourselves, was in the Evil Dead remake, and she was in Fun Size.
Fun Size is what I remember. Didn't she have brunette hair or red hair in that movie?
It was red hair.
Red hair.
Dylan Minette, this guy is all like, he was in like a bunch of like little... He's in Prisoners. I remember him from Prisoners.
Now, I know exactly what he was from that we saw.
Goosebumps.
Yep. That episode's not out yet. Sorry.
Let Me In. He's in a lot of stuff, this kid. Apparently he's in the episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You remember him?
I actually do. He was the son... Wait, was he the son in some of... frick. I remember he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I remember the other guy, though. There was some other guy. I think he was from Jurassic Park or something. I don't know.
Ooh, Jurassic Park.
No, he was from Unbreakable. It was the kid from Unbreakable who came on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. briefly. He was the son of some Hydra guy.
Unbreakable? Like, Shyamalan Unbreakable?
Shyamalan Unbreakable, yeah. That kid.
Now,
all grown up.
Daniel Zato. They say he's in this other horror movie we saw last year, but I do not remember.
What horror movie?
They say he was in It Follows as Greg Hannigan.
Wait, Greg is the car guy. The guy with the car.
Greg's the guy with the car who tries to get with him?
Yeah, I think he just had very long hair, and that's why we didn't remember him. It Follows.
Yeah, he did have long hair.
It Follows. You didn't like It Follows.
I did not like It Follows.
I would recommend It Follows over this movie.
He's in Fear the Walking Dead. I can see him with the long hair on the left here. There it is, right?
Yeah.
There. You got it.
Oh, I like that guy. They made him be the jerk character in this movie.
He was a douchebag. This is directed by Fede Alvarez. Alvarez. Fede Alvarez? Frede Alvarez?
Well, I can't see the spelling.
He showed up and was like, thank you for seeing my movie. Please support cinema. He pretty much was saying, thank you for coming out and not staying home watching Netflix because cinema is going down the shitter.
They've been doing that on a lot of... Are they only doing it on the first couple weeks of the movie, or are they leaving him on a bunch of movies?
I think they're supposed to do it on the first couple movies. That's the first time I've seen that since... it's been a while. I think they do one like
Finding
every
Dory
month.
greet us? The director of Finding Dory say something to us?
He probably did or some shit like that. I don't know.
It's like, please come back.
It's written by Fede Alvarez.
Maybe it's Fede, since it's...
Rodo Sayagi.
Is this based off another movie or something?
This one here?
Yeah. Oh, you don't have to... No, it's not that important.
Well, the concept of this is pretty much The Collector.
Oh. Oh, good. Then you have another perspective. I never saw The Collector, but I remember you telling me about it. Oh, wait, I lie. I didn't see the first 2 movies, but I think I saw the third, final
You saw the second movie. You didn't see. There isn't a third movie yet.
Okay, so I saw the second movie.
Yet.
I saw
Please have a third movie.
I saw the second movie. I thought it was pretty interesting. I did not see The Collector.
Yeah, second movie was called The Collection.
The Collection. I saw that
But
one.
in the first movie, The Collector, the thief guy, breaks into the house of this person that he was pretending to work on's house. And he didn't know at the time, but also the killer was working on their house as well. So when he breaks into the house, the killer is already there torturing his family.
Huh.
It's very interesting. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. A lot more interesting than this movie?
I had the Blu-ray.
Then Don't Breathe? You had the Blu-ray.
I had the Blu-ray.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Did you want to talk about that, or you want to move?
We might as well get it out the way.
All right. All right, before we start the movie, so if you want to skip to our movie discussion, it'll be down below the video or the player.
So, team, fans, brethren of the PLP, we have had ourselves a tragical past few weeks.
Tragical.
If you haven't watched the news lately, well, I remember we were very upset. Us Louisianians were very upset that it wasn't on the news when this was going down. It was talking about Milwaukee and Donald Trump and all this other crap. But in Louisiana, there was a flood. The rivers overflowed, and yeah, my house got flooded. My Blu-ray collection fell over. Lost some Blu-rays. Lost my bed. Some other things. Just fighting with trying to find a new house now. Andrew was lucky. Well, sort of, kind of. The water came up to his house, but didn't go in. But he had to be...
Well, I heard about Raymond's house, and everything seemed fine at my place. But then in the morning, they said, the water's coming up. I was like, what? And then slowly throughout the day, the water's coming out of the sewers and rising up slowly towards our house. It was crazy. It was like a zombie water apocalypse or something. The water was coming.
The dark waters.
You could see it coming slowly. What you gonna do? And so we had to get all of our electronics, everything as high as possible. We dismantled pretty much this whole entire place and put it up high. We were ready, and it stopped about a foot below our house for about an hour. But at that point, the road and the lawns, it just looked like there was a river right outside the door with houses on either side of the river. Yeah, some guy boated in, and we took a boat out of our neighborhood.
Cajun Navy.
Yeah.
Cajun Navy showed up to rescue people.
That was an adventure. Took a boat out of my own neighborhood.
What have you ever thought in a million years you'd do that?
No.
Look at that.
It was...
The first time of everything. Now you gotta do is take a helicopter ride out your neighborhood.
Oh, man. There were people doing it. There were helicopters constantly flying over our neighborhood and landing. Well, not all of them could land. Most of the time, they were just picking people up.
And just dropping the...
It was crazy.
Dropping the ropes.
Yeah.
The baskets.
Yeah.
Man.
It was amazing.
Intense.
It was amazing. There were a couple of trucks that hooked themselves together.
Oh, God, this story.
Front to back. Yep. And they started riding across the lawns from the other side of the street. They just rode on... You know, you got the lawn in front of the sidewalk and then the lawn closer to your house? They were on the lawn closer to the people's houses, and they were just ripping through people's yards, and then they got stuck and on the opposite side of the street. And then the people coming out of their houses like, I'm glad you got stuck effing riding through people's lawns. And we thought people were going to start shooting or something, so we slammed the door shut. Those guys made it through. They stalled a couple more houses over, like another one of them stalled. Each time one of them stalled, they just jumper cable, jumped up the car, and they made it out of the neighborhood like that somehow. Is insane.
Those bastards.
A lot of crazy images.
At the expense of everyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I lost a lot of things. I was also a Katrina victim. If y'all didn't know that, I don't know if I mentioned that.
No, you might have alluded to it, but you never said it.
An allude. Twice in one lifetime, everybody. So yeah, that's what happened. That's why we hadn't been posted lately, or we skipped a lot of the July, early August movies.
We did pretty well with the Ghostbusters one. We recorded that one on Thursday and had it up by Monday, and we wanted to start a new schedule like that, but then you got promoted, and we couldn't see stuff on Thursdays anymore.
Yeah, there was film blocking me.
And then this flood happened.
It was biblical.
Any parting words about the flood?
It's just a terrible thing. I did have my PS4 survive with a few games, just so you know. I know I said I lost everything, but just to let you know the gist of it. I don't have my PS4 hooked up to anything, and I can't play any games. Right now, it's causing an itch, an urge. I'm staying at my aunt who doesn't believe in the internet.
What?
She's got the weakest internet ever.
What?
I literally, sometimes when I watch a video, I turn off my Wi-Fi and just use the data to watch the video. The data is faster than the Wi-Fi, her Wi-Fi.
Really? What is
Yeah.
she just
She
a
bought-
cable person?
She bought something? No, she doesn't do TV or nothing.
No. She's a book person? Does she read books?
I don't know what
What does she do?
She listens
So-
to the radio. That's what she does.
She listens to the radio.
Listens to the radio.
That's an old school. I can't knock it because people are listening to us right now.
Yeah.
Listen to the radio. Who would listen to people talk?
Yeah, but people who listen to us got a high internet connection and listen to a podcast. This is a radio show on the internet called Podcast.
Well, audio is cheaper than video. Your auntie's internet connection could probably still listen to us.
Yeah. My friend Whit, whenever this first started happening, he lost a lot of stuff too.
He had to have lost more.
Yeah, the water in my house got to about 1.5 feet. The water in his got about 4 feet, I believe he said, or something like that. Maybe 3. My friend Tristan survived. He just got blocked into his neighborhood.
He was on an island. He is miraculous.
Yeah.
He just had a...
They was on an island. The place where they live at, everything around him got flooded. Except
Everybody.
for where
Up
he
to the
was at.
roofs got flooded.
Yeah,
And he made it through.
lucky.
He was really blessed. It must be because of that new child. They're
The
just
new
looking after
baby,
him.
baby Leo is a miracle baby.
Miracle baby.
Shout out to baby Leo for saving the day.
Leo!
Jermaine survived as well. If you've heard us mention him before,
It's about everybody they know.
that's probably everybody that knows so far.
Only if they've listened to multiple episodes.
So that's how that went down. Sorry, we just took up a lot of your time. I know y'all want to get to Don't Breathe, but we had to explain that to you.
I
I forgot why we segued into this.
Well, because if you...
Oh, we was talking about the collector, and I said I had the Blu-ray, and then I got sad because all my Blu-rays are gone.
So what's the solution? You said you're only going to keep ones that you definitely were going to rewatch? You're only going to repurchase those?
Yeah, I'll probably just repurchase my.
You going to wait for
faves.
4K? You rather wait for 4K? It comes with the Blu-ray. 4K. Just to future-proof your collection from now on?
When's the 4Ks coming?
Well, 4Ks are already out. You just got to wait for them to release the movie that you want in 4K.
4K?
Newer releases, a lot of them are out on 4K, but Disney's stingy. They're not supporting it yet. They're probably waiting an extra year. Captain America Civil War, not going to be a 4K this year.
Oh,
No Star Wars 4K yet.
I think I will wait for the 4Ks before I start repurchasing. I do want to save money and start doing other things right now. I think right now my big thing is I do want to get that PC.
Oh, no.
I want to get that PC, everyone, and I just want to play.
You're digging it.
I just want to
it.
play.
You want to play.
I want to play.
You want a 60 frames per second gaming.
I can feel it. I can smell it. I can sense it. This is my destiny.
Oh, man. I recently constructed my own PC for half the price of having somebody else build it for me. Raymond's getting all into it. He wants it
Andrew
too.
has spent lots of money on summer sales, playing all kind of games. He tells me all the time, Raymond, I'm playing this, playing that. I'm just like, oh my God, I need to play this too.
It's crazy what you can save on PC gaming as long as you don't mind that it's a digital copy.
I don't.
At this point, I don't either. You want me to branch off into that topic?
What, the PC?
Yeah, the reason why physical copies don't mean crap anymore, day one updates, period.
There it is.
There's no complete editions with everything on a physical disc or at least a second disc. Like release the base game and then release all the DLC on a disc and have the complete physical copy. They don't do that.
Nope.
So basically, all of your physical discs don't mean anything. You might as well just buy the digital one if you have the download speeds at this point. Because physical has become obsolete this generation on PS4 and Xbox One. It's sad, really.
R.I.P.
We fought for physical copies. Sony fought for physical copies. No one's enforcing any sort of finalization or these games being guaranteed to work with all their DLCs in the future without needing an internet connection to a server that's going to go out of business.
Martial law.
What?
Yeah.
So that's the logic. If I can just pay $5 for a complete edition on PC that's digital, fine. I'm only out $5. That's the cost of a movie ticket, and I get to play a video game.
And there's so many other cool games, and I really want to replay Left 4 Dead again and tear that up with Andrew one last time.
And Tristan's got
One more
his
time.
own
Tristan
copy
does
already.
have PC.
Yeah.
And so we need to tear that up. And so that was my plan. All right, we got to get to Don't Brief. Don't Brief.
All right, for those of you who skipped over here, welcome back to the Don't Breathe podcast. Ready to kick this thing off?
Copy.
All right, the movie starts off with Sony. And that's it.
Then was it the Columbia logo?
Yeah. Oh, did we want to mention that? No.
Mention, huh?
No. Save it.
Say what?
How I was laughing during that horror movie trailer because it was so silly.
Which one was that?
It was like Ouija board resurrection or something.
Ouija, the origins of Ouija?
Ouija board origins.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
You guys got to check out the Ouija trailer right now. It is not a scary movie. I mean, it is a scary movie. It's like the scary movie comedy movies. At one point, the lead woman in the trailer acts like Anna Faris from scary movie movies, grabs the little kid, starts shaking her. It's like, what is going on? and then they have a little kid who turns a slingshot on himself. It's just hilarious. I was just like, oh, they didn't play Boogeyman.
I'm the boogeyman. I'm the boogeyman.
Do what you want.
I didn't see the King Arthur trailer until then too, so that was my first time. Now at first it was giving me a little Seventh Son vibe, but then it wasn't at the same time. So I'm mixed on this. I don't know what to expect from this.
It kind of lost me because I knew what it was whenever I clicked on it during the Comic-Con days. I clicked on it and I saw this weird GoPro stuff at the beginning, and I was like, I'm not digging it.
Yeah, that's probably what it was too for me. I don't know what it was. I was like, wait, ooh, this could be cool, but then it wasn't.
It's got this quick cut, interesting attitude, which might pay off.
I don't know.
I like how we're reviewing movie news up front now.
Okay. Sorry, everyone. So Sony, Columbia logo, and then the movie did this thing where I hate when movies do this.
Well, you don't know it.
So
you don't know it.
You don't know it.
You don't know it until the end, don't you? Or did they have
This is the ending.
No.
This is the ending. They showed us the ending in the beginning, and I hate when they do that.
But did they tell you that? Did they say, like, such and such hours earlier? Like, 2 days earlier or anything?
No, but you obviously know that this movie's about them breaking into this man's home, and then you just see the movie opens with the man dragging the girl down the street.
Now I think you're supposed to think it might be the girl who killed his daughter.
It's a direct shot of Jane Levy herself.
I know.
Wait, they didn't even mention his daughter's death yet, or the girl who killed his daughter yet.
They mentioned
you
it.
see the blonde hair Jane Levy.
Oh
You know, the girl who killed his daughter had long brunette hair. This was ridiculous that they showed this, and it was just him dragging her. So it was like, okay, the other two die.
Okay.
Thanks for the spoilers up front.
The movie's over. Okay.
Yeah, the movie was literally, it was like, oh God. So it already got a strike on it right there.
Raymond, I think they were counting on the fact that because she was so bruised and battered that you would not recognize that it was that actress.
She was not that bruised and battered, and I could tell it was her. I was like, oh, this is the
She
main
had
character.
black
This is the
eyes.
main girl. This is the main girl being dragged by the main villain.
Well, I fell for it. I thought it was a prologue.
This is obviously the end of the movie.
I thought it was a prologue establishing that he's a killer or something.
It was her, and I was like, why? Now, if it did, like, I was expecting to go 27 hours earlier or something like that.
Yeah.
But it didn't. So
Yeah.
I guess it fooled some other people as well. But don't do that.
Raymond. What do you think of... This is basically Bass Noises, the movie. How'd you like them?
Like, Paranormal Activity is Bass Noises, the movie.
Yeah, but they only do that whenever the entity is about to be there.
But this one started out...
This one just does it randomly.
There was an entity in this movie, and Carter Quaritch was the only villain. And there it is.
It just got on my nerves. I kind of wish it would just...
It started out early in the movie. They started doing that, but
Yeah.
then did they do it later on? No,
They did it a lot in the movie. They
Okay.
They didn't do it as aggressive all over the movie, but there were at least 3 times where they did it so like they're just pressurizing the whole theater with bass. Yeah, it just kept building. I was like, man, I hope these subwoofers can take this. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I hope these don't pop. I like covered one of my eardrums to save it.
I don't know why they did that. Like, it's not like we're deaf. This is a blind guy. Like, make the screen black or something.
Now, that would have been interesting if we got into his perspective and all you had was that bass noise and you can't hear anything else. Well, that wouldn't make any sense because he's blind. He's not
He's not
deaf.
deaf.
Never mind. That doesn't make any sense. I don't get it.
I should have started with maybe like a blurred shot, and you just hear the dragging noise. Shh, 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 and that's it. That would have been better.
Yeah. And I could tell right away, there was a jump scare in the opening logos, wasn't there? That ghost house logo did a jump scare noise. Sony logo was very quiet, and then all of a sudden, the ghost,
the little skull face came flying through and looked through the keyhole at you.
And then I was like, okay, this is gonna be this type of movie. It's gonna have this type of sound design. So this movie has jump scare sound design, where everything is super dynamic. Most stuff is quiet, and then something loud will happen. There were at least maybe 8 jump scares in this movie, if I was guessing.
Pretty much. Well, they have to stay quiet because the guy will hear them.
I guess they have an excuse for dynamic sound design. Yeah.
So anyways, we start out with the ending of the movie, but then we start out with the girl, what's her name again? Rocky.
Rocky, short for Roxanne.
With her douchebag boyfriend and Friendzone, Captain Friendzone.
Captain Goosebumps.
Captain Goosebumps the Friendzone. They broke into a house. They turn the alarm off, go in.
Goosebumps is like, do not grab any cash. Only grab valuables. Make sure it's less than $10,000 total. How they're going to know that they grabbed less than $10,000 worth of merchandise is crazy.
I don't know. I don't know how it works. That's some... I just remember a lot in this film. There's some issues with this film off the bat.
Does he have a clipboard, like, every time they bring an item to the car, like, he'll mark it off?
He must have a clipboard.
A price scanner on the app on his phone?
He, like, writes it down, like, sums it up. It's like, okay, we got to put some of this shit back.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he does.
And then the jerk character is like, yeah, man, I got it. And instead of going to grab stuff, he just starts breaking vases, shattering them on the floor.
Like, this idiot, what is he doing?
He pulls an Independence Day Resurgence and takes his dick out and pees on the floor and flips somebody off.
I was like, okay, this guy's going to die first. Way to go, movie that's supposed to be this revolutionary thing.
What did Roxanne do?
She went and tried on some clothes.
Yeah, she did, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So Alex is the only one stealing anything. Alex, the goody two-shoes beta male.
The beta Alex Goosebumps, Captain Goosebumps, stole all the stuff. They get back outside. They take everything. They set the alarm back. And then they throw a rock through the window because they can't let them know, oh, somebody's got the codes to our houses. So that makes sense. And I was like, oh, okay, that's clever. It's about the only clever thing in this movie.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
Do they have a conversation in a car? There's multiple conversations in the car.
Well, I think the next thing we see is Rocky with a hand out the window with a ladybug crawling on it.
They were both smoking in the car, and then they had a conversation. It's like, yeah, we're both going out west to California. Goosebumps is like, oh, Rocky, oh, you're not going too, are you?
And she was like, yeah, I got to get away from my mom's. Captain Goosebumps was like, oh, okay. So he went home and was like, Dad, you home? Nobody answered. And he went to, because his dad's a security consultant, or was he a security guard somewhere? Because it was strange the way his dad was set up here.
Some sort of security alarm company, maybe, or something.
Yeah, he worked for the security alarm company. So he had all the extra keys to these people's houses.
And codes
to their houses.
In his upstairs office.
So his son just broke in and would take them. Captain Goosebumps would do that.
So he returned the ones that he had taken for them to do that robbery. And then we cut to another day.
They were sitting in a cafeteria like type thing. Like was they in school?
I don't know.
They were just sitting in a cafeteria area. Maybe it was in a college cafeteria.
A college campus?
I know nothing
about
these college.
I know nothing about these characters at all.
We don't.
I already don't like them because they rob from people. They steal from people.
Yeah, I was like, how am I supposed to like these people? All right, you got Captain Goosebumps in the friend zone, and then you got douchebag. I don't like neither one of them. And the girl, I was like, obviously I don't like her because she don't know who really, cares about her.
She's using these men to get what she wants so she can go to California with her sister.
Yeah.
That's my greatest problem with this movie.
There it is. Captain Goosebumps. Like, I wanted him to survive. This is how I wanted the movie to end, was him surviving and them two dying. Like, yeah. I was expecting, like, okay, he's dragging her in the beginning. Maybe she does die, and then he survives. That would have been better.
The way that she was acting greedy throughout this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
I would have liked it. Okay, Raymond, I agree. I'll tell you later, once we get to that part of the movie, what I think Alex should have done whenever he gets to the basement and sees what's about to happen.
Like towards the end of the movie?
Towards the end of the movie with the pastry.
Oh, damn. He should have just like left.
He probably should just let
he
it.
Should like took a picture and like rolled out. He was like, cheese, and then rolled out. He
was getting.
He was.
That's
as much as I wanted to like his character and wanted his character to survive, his character was just not smart. His character was not a smart man.
He was intelligent, but he wasn't smart.
At one point, he was out the house. At one point, he was out the house. So all they had to do was keep going. He turned back around.
Ladies and gentlemen, let this be a note to everybody that there are so many women out there that you don't have to risk your lives for one that doesn't like you at all and is using you. You'll find somebody and get with somebody eventually.
Andrew,
hopefully.
May I have a pass insane at this time? This one time.
Oh, go ahead.
They all the same.
Okay.
They all the same, man.
Thank you to our female followers once again.
They all just want to use you, take from you, let you help them steal stuff, and then get shot in the back. Spoilers.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. In your bra. Wait, what movie was that from?
Sounds familiar.
I think Jim Carrey said that. Yeah, in your bra. Liar, liar.
Liar, liar. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen Liar, Liar and Truman Show. I don't know those by heart. Those are the only two that I don't know.
The lady was going up there to testify, and she had big breasts, and she was like, "Yeah, I weigh 130," and it's like, "Yeah, in your bra." Okay, sorry.
All right. So then douchebag is like, look, I got it. This veteran dude inherited a bunch of money because his daughter got hit by a car, and then the rich parents of the girl who hit him gave him a lot of money. He's got a lot of money in there, so we just go in there and take it.
No, man, I'm not messing with no military dude, man.
This guy's a vet.
Come on, he's blind. He's not a threat. We can even do it while he's there if we have to.
No, man, I'm not doing it, okay? It's just wrong.
Alex.
That's Captain Goosebumps talking.
Alex, do it for me, man.
He looked at it for a while. He's like, I can't. And he walked away. So then we cut to her at her house, and then we got a little taste of her home life.
Was it a trailer?
I don't know what it was.
It was
pretty.
Pretty tight little place.
She's with her sister. Her sister's doing some shit.
Yep. The mom was still there. The dad had walked out on him or something.
Dad walked out,
and now her mom's hanging out with some jerk.
Mom's making comments to her, talking about some.
Go for it.
I see your lips has got sores on them. Is that how you been making your money? The mom does the hand gesture and everything with the tongue in cheek.
Oh, no. Little girl's like, what's CPR?
Don't worry about it. We're going to get out of here.
Mama says you get the D all the time.
She says, you're a dirty little tramp. So then she sent him a text message. Please, I need to get her out of here. He like contemplated it for a while. I don't know what he did. Did he choose something? Did he like go out and look at the moon or something? And
there wasn't even back? No, there wasn't anything like that.
It just like cut back to her, and then she got the text message.
She got the text message while she was saying a lot of things aren't fair, sweetie, to the little girl. She got the text message at the end of that conversation that said, "I'll do it. I'll do it
for you and her." Oh, Captain Goosebumps friend zone. You about to die. Anyways.
So they're in the car again. They're parked outside across the street from the blind guy's home in some little bit rundown urban.
He lives in an abandoned neighborhood, everybody.
Abandoned neighborhood?
An abandoned neighborhood. Yes,
what?
That's what they said.
That's what, really?
He lives in an abandoned neighborhood.
I didn't even...
You didn't catch that part?
I didn't catch that part.
They're
what
like,
a dumb excuse.
This is an abandoned neighborhood.
I just thought nobody was coming out.
No. There was trees. They did a quick establishing shots of the houses that were empty. It's almost like a flood maybe happened there. And sorry, too soon.
Was it filmed in New Orleans? I was wondering.
No, I don't think so. I guess it was like a poverty-ridden area maybe.
It's a
there at least had to be like one or two neighbors still living there if he was still there.
It's a little bit rundown urban area, 2-story houses.
Like 3 blocks worth from his general direction, there was nobody living apparently.
Weird.
It
really?
That's the excuse for reason why all the gunshots could go off and nobody could hear it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna do that, then why did we have to stay stuck in one house then? We could have had a whole neighborhood. You run around a whole neighborhood.
I thought that, because in the trailers we would see them in the house for a little bit. I thought, they're going to get out. They're going to be running around at night.
Hide and seek in a whole neighborhood with him listening really closely or something, using superpower.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Now, that would have been more interesting.
We didn't get that. I thought they would try to run, and he'd have like booby traps in the houses set up somewhere, like already, in all these houses.
All the houses.
Because I thought, this guy's really crazy. But then they gave us like some down-to-earth excuse of why he's doing the shit he's doing, and I was like, whatever.
He was the most sympathetic character.
I was rooting for him.
That's why I clapped whenever he...
thought he killed them all?
When I thought he killed them all halfway through the movie. And then 2 of them turned out to be alive still. We'll get back to that.
Well, Andrew, we both got hung up on the 2 different things, I remember. You was hung up on her, and I was hung up on him.
Oh.
About why...
You hung up on her, he hung up on you?
About their deaths.
Ah, okay.
Okay, we'll get to it. Anyways. So they scope him out. He walking his dog, Chico, or whatever the dog's name is.
Huge. Is that a Rottweiler?
Cujo.
Or a Pitbull?
It was something mixed with a demon.
It was a big black dog. Looks a little bit like a Pitbull. Probably a Rottweiler or something.
It was more... Rottweiler's got the skinniest. I don't know.
Yeah, I want
to say Dove. No, not a Doberman. I don't know what kind of dog it was. I'm sure some dog experts will tell us.
It's a fearsome black patrol dog.
It's a monster, all right? It's a beast. It looked like it did hard time in the prisons, okay? Well, he walking his dog. He's like, he's blind as shit.
We'll just do it while he's here. He'll be
They
asleep.
had the windows down, so I was like, maybe he knows they're there at this point in time.
But he didn't.
No.
Angry guy gets out of the car, and then Alex gets a brief conversation with Roxy again and notices that she has a new tattoo on the back of her thumb, and it's like, it's a ladybug, but I'm not going to color it in. I'm only going to color it in once I get to California with the little girl. It's like, well, why'd you choose a ladybug? Well, I'm glad you asked, Alex. The audience is really curious. I chose a ladybug because one time, after the father left, or maybe it was the father. I can't remember the story. We watched the movie yesterday. But I got locked in somebody's trunk.
It was the father.
My father, thank you. My father locked me in a trunk. And
no, Mama locked the father left, so the mama went crazy.
Oh, the mama...
And blamed her for it.
Okay, thank you for clarifying, voice in my head. My mother locked me in the trunk, and for days on end I would be in there, and I got to cry. I would cry and cry. And then a ladybug landed on my thumb, and I was happy. I guess.
The ladybug kept her company in her trunk.
CGI ladybug.
Yeah. This one, she was a little girl. So the ladybug is like a representation of freedom.
And then Alex is like, wow, I really sympathize with your needs.
When can I have a piece of that? Huh? I didn't say that.
It's like, if you guys do go to California, I will go with you. And then Roxanne turns around and says, I know, Alex. Aw.
I was like, don't do it, bro. Don't do it. Leave now. Leave.
All right. Well, first things first. They want to enter on the right side of the house in an alleyway, but it's really his lawn that has a nice little pavement sidewalk that leads up to a side door into the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
But they got a dog over there. It's like, what are we going to do about the dog? It's like, don't worry, I brought some tranquilizer treats. And so he tosses them over the fence. Dog eats
put
it.
some pills and a piece of meat.
Dog ate it up, and they spend a long amount of screen time, like 5 minutes or so, slowly going across and emphasizing the fact that maybe the dog might still be awake, and maybe there's going to be a jump scare. There wasn't a jump scare. He wasn't still awake. The pills worked.
He was sleeping.
But they still played up the fact that it's scary. It might happen. So then they try to hack into the...
He was on a chain.
He was on a chain. Oh, don't... Later.
Oh.
Later. They all go up to the side kitchen entrance. He tries to use a key on it. It's like, oh, dude, the key doesn't work. We can't get in now. It's like... Okay. And there's bars on most of the windows. Roxanne's like, look, I see a window up there. You can toss me up there. I'm light enough, and I'll go in. Alex is like, but I don't want to send you in there alone. I care about you. You're not sending me anywhere. I am a fully self-dependent woman, you cis white piece of trash.
Damn, is that? Whoa.
No, she didn't say that.
Cis white piece of trash. That was, damn. That's a lot right there.
Now boost me up.
Cis. Oh my God. That is.
And then Alex is like, okay, you're only going to have 30 seconds after the alarm triggers when you open that window. She punches through the window, opens it up.
She slithered in like a snake. Her body just slithered in.
She took forever to get down from that window.
Yeah, I was like, it's going to be 30 seconds. I was like, damn, this has been a good minute and a half now.
And the alarm is beeping. Like, if you're a blind man and he was still awake at 2 a.m. in the morning, he would have heard that. Like, little beep, 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 beep. Beep, beep, going off every second.
Just to let you know, some people have the code at a door, like the back door, and they also have one in their bedrooms. So yeah, he probably would have been hearing it as well if it was in his bedroom.
Oh,
if he
no.
had one in his bedroom. Maybe he couldn't afford it, but he had all that money. He should have been able to afford it.
Maybe his TV was too loud.
Oh yeah, he was playing America's Funniest Home Videos was on. She gets in, she uses the remote control, turns off the alarm finally.
Got this universal security turn-offer remote from his father.
Why you didn't use that 1,000 times before?
What are all the other buttons for? I guess they were programmed.
One was a panic button, and one was, don't worry about the other one. I think it was only turn off and panic.
I thought there was like a bunch. I thought there was a bunch of numbers on it and lower down. Like they kept hitting the power button at the top.
Those don't matter.
I feel like the production crew went out and bought a universal remote control and just said it was...
Spray painted it?
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing.
Could they have reprogrammed the codes so that guy didn't know the codes to his own house? That would have been useful.
That would have made a lot of... That would have been a great...
So he couldn't turn it off?
Like a quick thing. Like
Yeah.
they did that and he was trying to turn it off and he couldn't hit the buttons.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice sequence. I guess they're saving that for the sequel.
Because that would have been smart, because we know that Colonel Qualrich, his hearing is his weakness, obviously, because he's blind.
He don't like all that loud noise.
He's like the symbiote. You just got to bang some stuff around.
His body started freaking out.
That's what he was doing, man. He was like...
Then you got to throw a grenade at him. She got in, turned it off, let them through the door.
Oh, before they let them through the door, there was an important conversation between the douche and Alex.
Alex was like, I'm the one that cares about him. The douche's like, stay in your place, Captain Friend Zone. He actually said that to him.
Called him Captain Friendzone.
Called him something. He said Friend Zone. I think he said
No,
Friend
he said,
Zone.
do yourself a favor. Be a good friend. Stay in the friend zone. It's like, of course I care about her. She's my bitch. And then she opens the door immediately after this conversation. She probably could have heard this because
And I was
everything's
like,
quiet.
Damn, I want her to die. But we'll get to that. So they go in, take off their shoes because they gotta not walk on the hard wooden floors. They're looking for the money. Can't find it. Douchebag goes upstairs. World's Funniest Home Videos playing on TV. So he goes in there and he sees it's actually a video of the guy's daughter. Talk about some, yeah, daddy, I made pudding. Thanks. He turns and then Quar just sitting up in his bed all of a sudden.
Whoa. How'd you like that under the bed shot? At first, I thought we were in the douchebag's perspective because they had that shot.
And then it went going through the hallway?
Yeah. And then it went under the bed.
It was moving fast.
Yeah, it was going fast. And then it went under the bed. And I was like, did douchebag go under the bed?
He got ghost powers. He could phase.
I thought we were at his point of view, but then it showed the Magnum under the bed.
He was like, look all this setup.
They did that a lot in this movie. Lots of one-shots. I think that's what critics liked about it a lot.
Yeah,
critics
that's what I heard. They liked that too.
They love one-shots. You set up a one-shot, you're golden.
You automatically win.
You put like 5 of them, like this movie does. Oh my gosh, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's all you need.
No story needed.
Nope. Not at all.
No character development needed.
Nope. Not necessary.
Just a one-shot take.
Just one shot.
Perfect cinematography.
You got to blind them with a style.
Oh my God. So Clark sits up in his bed.
That was funny. I'm sorry. I just like the way he looked in the dark, looking right at the douchebag.
He grabs the remote, turns off the TV, rolls back over. Douchebag makes a bottle or some shit. Supposed to be like a sleeping gas.
Sleeping gas in a plastic bottle.
Sets it up in the room. Obviously, you can hear this noise.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
He closes the door, and then he comes stomping down the stairs. Donk, 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 donk. Hey, guys!
Yeah.
He's out. It's like, what are you doing?
What are you
Shut
doing?
up.
He there. He go. He out. He's like, we checked everywhere. We can't find our buddy. What about here? Oh, let's try this.
He points to the cupboard under the stairs, what they think is a cupboard under the stairs, with
It's
a
like a
huge
little
padlock on it.
I don't think that's a cupboard, Andrew. That's a big ass door to be a cupboard, huh?
Oh, I don't know. I thought they thought it was.
It's a basement door.
I know they saw the cellar door. It was important to establish that the cellar door was there.
Oh, and it was outside. They saw the cellar door, yeah.
They stuck their hand through a hole in it, and they felt that it was only held in place by one bar. They couldn't jiggle it. So they knew there was a basement, but for some reason, the way they were acting about this door, they just assumed it was in the basement. They didn't check all the rooms upstairs.
It had a padlock on it, that's why.
They didn't check all the rooms upstairs.
They didn't, but it had a padlock, so it was like, ooh, it's locked up behind there, so we gotta open this. So he pulls out a crowbar and a saw and starts sawing at the door, just furiously, like, zzz.
And it wasn't working. And then he pulled out a gun, and then Roxanne's like, why do you have a gun?
I absolutely forgot about that part.
You forgot about that part?
Thank you. I was
forgot?
wondering what happened, and now thank you, because I was my thing to that was like, okay, he's about to cause this big ass loud noise and wake the dude up.
It's like, but you never shot a gun before, honey.
Well, it's about time I learned.
Takes aim at it.
Pulls out a bottle, puts it in front of the gun, like they're supposed to muffle the gun's noise. We've established.
It's a bottle. How's a bottle gonna muffle the noise?
Exactly. We've established in real life though that the sound does not come from the muzzle itself. The sound also comes from the cock and back of the gun and the shell leaving. There was no way he could have stopped both of those sounds.
It also looked like the bottle that was supposed to be in Qualrich's room. Like, it had gas coming out of it, too. I'm sure that's from the shot.
Smoke, yeah.
Yeah. But for a second
this guy saves his water bottles, Andrew. We should save our water bottles.
For a second there, I thought he was really stupid, and he brought the bottle down without the gas actually filling up the guy's room. Maybe he did. That's why
what he did, too. Because as soon as he did that, everybody was like, yeah, it is. Smiles on their faces. And then they looked. Coleridge was standing there. He's like, who's there? Who's there?
He came from the other side. He did not come from the hallway where the staircase was.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he came from the front door side. Remember?
I think he came from the stair side. To me, he came from the stair side.
I thought he came from the front door side near the dining room area that transitioned from the kitchen. Like, he came down the stairs, went into the kitchen, came out the dining room, and now he's standing by the front door area in the living room on the right side of... Oh, wait. Where is the staircase? Are there two staircases in this house?
This is tough.
Aren't there two staircases in this house?
I think it's just the one.
Because I could have sworn there was a staircase down the hallway on the left, and then there was a staircase where you get down to the basement.
There's the.
Are there two staircases in this house?
There's the basement staircase and there's the upstairs staircase.
Okay, for some reason I thought, because the way they shot certain scenes, for some reason I thought in the back, if you go down the hallway from the living room and you took a left, that that was where the staircase was. But no, they actually went up at the front. So he came down the staircase and is now standing near the front door area with that huge awning or whatever.
Wait, who's there? Douchebag was like, stay right there. I got a gun. He's like, huh? It's like, I'll shoot you, old man. But the guy kept getting closer and closer to him.
Didn't you hear me? I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna shoot. Bang!
I said, don't play with me.
He just shot a warning shot. Meanwhile, Alex got out of there already, didn't he?
Yeah.
Alex said Vominos. Was like, you got a gun?
I'm out.
Peace.
He put on his shoes and he walked outside the door.
So Alex was not in the room for this scene.
He wasn't in the house for this scene.
He heard the warning shot at the guy.
And he stopped. But he didn't go back in immediately. Douchebag was like, don't come closer, man. Don't go closer. But for some reason, he let the blind guy get close to him as possible and he grabs him. He's like, how many of you are there? He's like, it's just me, man. What do you want? How many of you are there? All right. And then he shot him. He put the gun to him and shot him. Then everybody panicked.
I don't like how they played it like he wasn't going to shoot him. Like, I knew the whole time he was going to shoot him. They built the whole scene up to a huge climax where he's about to shoot him, and then he doesn't pull the trigger, and he relaxes again. It's like, oh, I think he's going to let him go. And then there's a pause, and then he shoots him. But then it's no longer effective. It was building towards it. There was escalation, and then they just deflated the scene, and then he shot him. It's like,
thought maybe they'd have him relax, and then douchebag will try to pull out like another gun or like a knife, and then he'd have to really defend himself against him.
My problem was just that I know he's going to shoot him, Don't relax the tension for a second and then shoot him like it's some big surprise. They didn't play that effectively at all.
What if people didn't see the trailers? Maybe it would have still been effective for him.
Was it in the trailers?
That's in the trailers, yeah, when he shoots him.
Well, I hadn't seen the trailers, but I still knew that guy was going to get shot.
All right, well, Andrew knew, so it's not effective, okay? I hope you're proud of yourselves, people who made this film.
Well, I know this type of character, this Qualrich type of character, this old guy. I know he's a military guy.
He's going to get his legs back.
If somebody asks you if anybody else is here, that means that they're going to kill you.
How many of you are there?
If he knew someone else was here, yeah, he might have at least kept you alive for bait until he could find the other one. Have you scream or tortured or something. You would have had a better chance. Ladies and gentlemen, a PSA for real life. If someone asks you if you're the only one here...
So they shot him, what's her name, cowered into the closet.
Roxanne?
What's his name, stepped through the door.
Alex went through the door, came back into the house to save Roxanne.
He was in the hallway, and then Coulson walks through the hallway. He moves out of his way. Coulson closes the door.
That was way too convenient. It looked like his arm grazed Alex. Coulson's arm grazed Alex. That was a small hallway, and he was able. He made noise.
He went to the other side. He went far to the other side of that hallway to get past Alex.
Like he would have been walking through I don't know. Frick. Coulson. Like if you're a blind person, your other senses should be better. Like you would be able to feel that there was somebody. You could sense a presence in the hallway, couldn't you? Like body heat, the body heat of Alex, you would have felt that going by the hallway because everything else is just drafty, and then all of a sudden there would be a little lull there or something.
I don't know. We gotta ask out any blind listeners. Please let us know. Can you feel body heat?
Will you detect body heat if they're like within an inch of you?
Would you be able to do it?
Yeah.
Please let us know. He got by Alex. He closed the back door, locked it up. He walked through the hallways, felt a piece of glass.
So he knew from just stepping on that glass, they broke in through the bathroom window. Mm-hmm. So he started boarding that up. Somebody's mowing their lawn at this hour?
You gotta do it.
7 o'clock. 7:30.
On the dot, they in they drop top. Oh.
Okay, he puts a lock on the kitchen door. Alex has to hide under the faucet in the bathroom while he's nailing the board up. I laughed because Roxanne in the closet starts sending a text message, and I knew she was sending it to Alex. And I thought, this idiot Alex is not going to have his phone on silent.
On vibrate?
Yeah.
They ain't on this go. I was waiting for it too,
and she would have killed him.
Like,
but no, it was on silent. He received a message. Alex was like, "I'm in the house. Where are you?" And then Roxanne's like, "I'm in the closet." Eventually, he sneaks over to the closet. There's a bunch of worthless tension.
Before he sneaks over to the closet, Coulson goes into the closet, opens the hidden safe to check to see if his money's still there, and it's still there. But he doesn't know she's in the closet, and she sees him put the code in. So then he boards everything.
Do safes normally leave the code displayed on the screen after you close it?
Nah.
But it didn't have a shot of her looking at him pressing the buttons. It had a shot of her looking at like a microwave LED display that showed the 4 numbers he put in after he already closed the safe. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't already not like this girl, she just watched her boyfriend get murdered, and she's perfectly fine now that she sees that she's got money in the closet with her. She sees the money, and she's like, ooh.
I guess she cares more about her little sister, but we don't spend a lot of time with the little sister.
I don't believe that.
What?
We have one scene with the little sister to establish that she's doing this only for her sister.
This is her motivation?
I don't truly believe this is her motivation. She's hanging out with a bunch of jerks. She's not being a good role model for her sister. She's stealing from people.
Exactly.
I think she's in it for the money.
She is in it for the money.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to believe that she's doing it for her sister.
Is she really going to give her sister a better life?
No. She's going to steal from her sister when her sister gets older. She's going to be a productive citizen, and then she's going to steal from her.
So Alex makes it to the closet after Coulson leaves and goes down the hall. He starts whispering incredibly loudly. Alex has a very loud whisper like, hey, yeah, Roxanne, what's going on? We need to get out of the house. We need to get out of the house, Roxanne.
He was talking very loudly, like room tempered, like room normal loudly, indoor voice loudly.
No, Alex, they got money in the safe. It's like, F the safe. Jeremy or whatever his name is dead. Douchebag's dead. And then she's like, I'm still gonna do it. And she went up and did it. And this is making noise too. Beep, 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 beep. Safe unlock, ka-clunk. And she pulls it out. She's putting it all in. And then she closes it. Hoofunk. All these safe noises. A perfectly quiet house. You can't hear it. She puts it in a red, one of those bags.
Little backpack. And like, how do we get out? We go through the basement and get out that cellar door. And she walks towards it. It opens up. Quaritch comes out.
What a coincidence. Did he even go down to the basement? How did he come out of the basement?
I guess we lost track of him for like a split second.
He was in the basement all of a sudden.
He telephased through it.
And he was standing... Wait a minute. He was standing there?
What?
When the door opened?
He like walked out of the door.
There's a ladder there. There's a drop.
There's a hole with a ladder, yeah.
Was he standing there on his tippy toes waiting for someone to open the door? Like, wouldn't you open the door
he
as you're
opened
getting
the
up the
door,
alley?
yeah. But he was like already standing whenever the door opened.
Well, how
Instead
do
of him like coming up like that, they didn't do that shot.
Yeah, he's just standing. How do you do that? It's a ladder straight down.
That's a filmmaking. That's filmmaking.
That's filmmaking?
That's filmmaking, Andrew.
Roger.
We don't need no logic.
So we have another tension sequence where nothing's really going to happen. Alex, like a bozo, backs up off the carpet and causes a board creak.
He's got his shoes on. He drops. Oh, he's trying to drag Douchebag's body away with a plastic bag. He went back to grab him, and then he heard, and then he shot the phone out of the backpack that Douchebag was carrying.
Did one of them scream or something? Is this the scene where he's moving the gun back and forth around the living room?
Yeah, that was the scene where he's moving the gun back and forth around when he hears the creak now. So he's moving the gun back and forth around.
That was interesting. Moving it back and forth and hoping that he hears somebody breathing. If the gun's getting close to you, it would heighten your adrenaline, and so you would start...
Mm-hmm. So he drags Douchebag's body to like a little small tool shed in his house and leaves it there. But as he walking by, he like smells stinky feet. And he smells, he picks up the shoes on the ground, smells Douchebag's shoes, and then he picks up another shoe and realizes it's a woman's shoe and smells it. When he goes back and checks the safe.
Oh, frick. So freaking Roxanne.
And yeah, it was all Roxanne's fault. She got everybody killed.
Yeah. So after she realized that she was in the clear, she didn't go back and get her shoe.
Nuh-uh. They were just going to leave the shoes in the house, apparently. Wow. He went back, checked the safe, realized his money was gone, did like a furious anger.
Meanwhile, Roxanne and Alex ventured downstairs, laddered down into the basement. There's a bunch of shelves set up all throughout the basement. It's really dark. They try to turn on a light, and something turns on. They're not sure what. And then they walk around to the main open area of the basement, and a huge cage.
Just a cage with some cushions in it.
Yeah.
It's like open area, though.
This is huge open fourth wall, but there's walls and a ceiling all around them of padding and pillows and mattresses, and on it is a chained up young woman.
She's like, woo! Woo! And they like, whoa, what kind of sick shit is this guy into? I'd have been like, whoa, just let us out of here. They're like, we can't leave. I'd have been like, I'm gone.
Roxanne is a moron. Roxanne did it again. She's getting everyone killed again because she didn't want to leave that girl chained up in the basement. Like, you could have called the police. That guy wants to protect that girl.
I think
we
they
find
said
out later.
that at one point.
Yeah.
He was like, we could go, we'll call the police and come back. He was like, no, we can't leave her here. And then she like looks and sees the girl sees the paper that was the girl that killed his daughter in a car accident. She tells her where the keys at, and it's like, what's the code that you used upstairs? And they open the safe and get the keys out, and they unlock her from the back part of it, but she's still like wearing a harness and whatnot. She's weak and she can't walk. She's got a thing covering her mouth. This like little elastic thing is covering her mouth so that she can't talk to him. So that already right there raises a red flag. Like, I thought she was going to turn on him.
I thought she might actually be his daughter, and the daughter wasn't actually dead.
That crossed my mind after this scene.
Yeah, after what's coming up. Yeah. So they get to the cellar opening.
There was a lock on it. Use one of those keys. They're trying to use one of the keys, but they kept hearing him coming from upstairs, like, do, 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 do. And it sounded like he got down into the cellar.
He was in the cellar.
Do, 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 do,
and then
do.
it stopped.
He's coming. Stop. And then he unlocks the lock. The cellar door opens and he's outside the cellar door.
And then he just blasts them.
He just starts shooting.
And then I started clapping.
You started clapping?
I was like, this guy is smart. He cut him off.
He cut him off somehow. He was able to sneak back outside.
So he shot him.
He shot, what's his name, in the ear. Did he shoot?
Grazed Alex's ear.
I don't think he shot Rocky, though.
He missed Roxanne, but only because...
she used the other girl as a meat shield.
Roxanne is a horrible person.
She used it as a meat shield.
She's a horrible person. was just like, it was
she
like
held up like,
was
oh God. Meanwhile, this girl, this thing covered her mouth, couldn't scream. It was like.
And then she ran off. Alex got out of the way of Qualridge coming downstairs, and they started to hide in the basement. Qualridge feels...
He stepped on the blood of the girl. What is this? And he feels like, oh no. Oh no. He holds her body close. And I was like, whoa. Was this his real daughter? Or like, what's going on here?
Didn't he say, like, not my baby or something? Oh, that must be the...
That must be the daughter. But then I was like, well, how did they set this up? Because like a rich family gave him money. How did this go down? This is going to be a lot of explaining to do by the end of this movie. That's his daughter. I was like, so something's got to be going on here. Apparently, there was a picture of the girl, though, so they, like, knew this is the girl who killed his daughter. So I was like, well, maybe he just, like, used as a sex slave to get revenge. That was another thought crossing my mind. Because either somehow this is his daughter, or he just tortured this poor woman to be a sex slave.
I was just leaning towards the daughter.
Okay.
So then you have the highlight sequence of the movie, I guess.
Which you saw in the trailer.
Which I don't remember.
Where he turns the lights off, and you get to see a night vision scene.
Black and white night vision. They must have actually filmed this in the dark because the actors, they really had their pupils heavily dilated and their eyes really wide open, especially the girl, Roxanne.
So I guess they was giving them direction and they just edited out the audio of them giving them direction?
Probably, yeah. Did some ADR. That'd be a good strategy.
Mm-hmm.
They had crew with night vision trying to guide them through the basement set. He locked up the cellar.
He put the lock on it and stuck a screwdriver in there and broke it off.
There was a sequence where Roxanne is trying to feel her way to the door, almost touches Qualridge, and right before he touches him,
Rocket calls out to her.
Oh, was that Alex?
Alex, Alex.
Oh, Alex almost touched him. Okay.
Wait, Alex is the... No, Rock is the girl.
Yeah, Rocket
tries to touch her.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Alex calls out to her, and he starts shooting. Qualridge starts shooting. So she got to see him because of the flashlight from the gun.
And then at one point, Qualridge sensed Alex through a bookcase, grabbed him through a bookcase, and was choking him to death. And then Alex used his goosebump powers to kick off the wall.
He put some leverage on it and kicked off the wall.
And knocked the whole shelf over on him. They found each other again, managed to get out of the basement. They locked the basement door somehow, even though they shot it off. I thought they tried
he closed the door. He takes the crowbar and shoves it under the door.
He shoved that under the door. Okay.
So he locked the door.
And then they try to use the keys on the front door, but then the dog is inside. But then the dog was inside. I guess he unhitched the dog whenever he went outside. That's going to be me defending this movie, is that when he went outside, he unhooked the dog from the chain. That's a lot to do because he was in the basement while they were fiddling with the keys.
He just did a quick run past and went ching, but the dog should have followed him down
into the basement. Now that would have been scary. It's completely dark, and there's a dog roaming around the basement, sniffing around for you, too.
Anyway, the dog got off a chain.
The dog is upstairs in the living room with them.
He's just growling at him.
Alex is trying to calm him down and gives the keys to Roxanne because he's a noble beta male. He doesn't care about his own life as long as he has the opportunity of one day getting some sex.
Shit. And so she's trying to find the keys to open the doors.
It looks like she finds the right one, but it's a little too late. They get chased.
Charges at him.
Do they run upstairs?
They run upstairs. They end up inside his daughter's old bedroom.
Yeah, on the second floor.
And they move a cabinet in front to block it.
Qualridge hears this and eventually gets to the door and starts pounding on the door. The beta male protector again sacrifices his life. He's holding the shelf in place, trying to keep him out.
We got to establish this. They try to escape through the windows. The windows are barred.
Can't get out.
The two windows in this room are barred, everybody.
Yeah, they had to block the door, and he had to give her a boost up.
To the vent.
So she's climbing into this ventilation shaft.
She's in the ventilation shaft right now.
And this is a pretty big ventilation shaft. We established this earlier with a shot that went through the floors upstairs. Another one of those fancy shots.
Did he give her a boost, or did she climb the cabinets? Because somebody else climbs the cabinets.
I don't know. I don't care about the boost.
Okay.
What do you have a point about the boost?
Well, if he gave her a boost, then how did the dog just magically climb these cabinets to follow her?
Everybody just calm down. Okay, we'll get to that eventually.
Okay.
There's plenty of stuff to complain about.
All right. Well, this is my big thing coming up.
This is also where the movie actually started to get fun, though. I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
Because the movie is very slow for the first half of the movie. It's about tension, but nothing is happening, and I'm not learning anything about the characters. The first hour, or maybe it's just the first 40 minutes, it felt like an hour of this movie, is just tension and nothing happening. And fancy filmmaking shots. But now actually fun stuff that you can talk about is about to start happening. It's not good stuff, but it's fun.
So she gets up in the ventilation shaft. Oh, boy's blocking the door. The dog somehow is able to open the door. Then Quaritch opened the door. Somebody opened the door.
I think Quaritch opened a crack in the door wide enough for the dog to be able to get in.
Slide through. The dog runs into the room, everybody. And
Alex is like, ah! And he runs over to a window and...
the dog pushes Alex out the window. Alex fell out the window because of the dog.
Alex did a bunch of backflips out of the window.
And landed on a glass, like the way his house is set up is that there's a...
It's like a laundry room greenhouse skylight.
He lands on that shit unconscious. And at this point in the movie, I told Andrew, we need to pause it because...
You were doing the T.
I need the time out
with your
because
hands. Time out.
The windows were barred, everybody. But this dog got superpowers, pushed Alex through these barred windows. We needed a timeout. We needed to pause the movie. Somebody needed to stop it and rewind. That was
the whole time.
What happened?
The whole time.
So the dog could jump through bars. Oh, you got to be touched by a dog.
He shoved that guy through bars.
He shoved him through the bars, like his body slid through the bars, like he was made of putty, like a T-1000, or did he just like break the bars?
I could have sworn that the first pan down to him after he had landed from the top story, that the bars were still there, but they were broken. I could have sworn. And then the next shot where they show Coulson or something up there, there's no bars at all.
So these bars vanished, is what you're telling me.
They vanished. They broke, and then they vanished. Or maybe the... Wait.
Anybody who's seen this movie, explain the scene to us.
Now, maybe they only checked one window for bars, and it had bars.
He was on one side of the room and said, is that one bar too? She was like, yeah.
Roxanne, that bitch.
So you saying it's her fault? She's a liar.
She lied. She did not actually check the window. Roxanne. They should rename this movie Roxanne Sucks.
The bitch.
The bitch. Don't breathe, bitch.
Yeah. Don't breathe around this bitch.
So you're telling me Roxanne went over there and it's her fault and there wasn't actually bars on the window?
That's probably the best excuse we got right now for what happened in this scene.
Is Roxanne intentionally sabotaging this mission at this point?
It should have turned out she was the daughter the whole time. Like that would have been a better twist.
Whoa. My father ran off, but her father is actually Coulson.
Mm-hmm. There it is. It would have made sense. So he unconscious, and then the dog runs in, climbs up some cabinets, and goes into the ventilation shaft with her.
I was so giddy. It's like, oh, finally, the movie has lost its mind and it's having some fun.
And he went in there to go get her.
And then they had this shot from far away down the shaft of head on and the dog coming at you, and the dog was like smiling and happy.
The way he was crawling through the vents was hilarious.
He was booking it. He was having a good time.
I don't know how she stopped him. I forgot what happened.
She didn't stop him. She got to a ledge where there was a huge drop all the way down to the base floor.
Oh, yeah, this is what happened.
And then she's like, well, I gotta jump. But she goes in head first.
She went head first. And this is where Andrew was like, wait a minute. She just murdered herself and she broke her neck.
She's dead. She landed on her head. A 1-story fall. No, 2 stories because the ventilation shaft was 5 or 6 feet off the ground on the 2nd story. And then she went all the way down to one that's on the ground on the 1st floor.
She was dead. So meanwhile...
Hey, this guy,
dead
Alex
is on the glass reenacting the scene from the Lost World Jurassic Park. The way Andrew claps right now is just the best thing, y'all. Y'all can see this.
It's so silly. This is so silly.
Quaritch goes down the stairs and doesn't see him where he's supposed to have landed at. So he goes back up the stairs, and Alex wakes up and turns over because he was on his stomach, but he turns over on his back trying to get through.
It's cracking. There's some tension. And then he looks up, and Coulson is out the window and just fires a bullet right into his gut. And then it shatters the glass as well, and he falls down.
Yeah, Coulson shoots him in the guts. But he doesn't die then, though. Like, did he shoot him in the gut? Or did he not shoot him in the gut?
At this point, they're both dead. She fell down and broke her neck. She's paralyzed and stuck in the ventilation shaft forever, and she'll never be found. And the other guy got shot. He's dead. At this point, the audience is starting to have fun, too. The audience is like, oh, come on, because he was still alive.
Yeah, crawls inside that little room.
He goes in the laundry room for the bot.
He goes to the laundry room because he sees the hammer.
Sees the hammer?
The hammer that they established with that established shot early in the movie.
Wait, who goes in the laundry room? I thought he landed in the laundry room.
The tool room that he put douchebag's body in.
Oh, yeah. It was behind the laundry machine, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a tool room / laundry room.
Laundry room.
Okay.
So he goes in there because he sees the hammer, and Quaritch comes with the gun, goes into the room, and he slams the hammer on Quaritch's arm. They start fighting, and they accidentally turn on the wash machine, and Quaritch can't hear for a while. Gun got moved somewhere, so he tries to reach for the gun. Alex couldn't get the gun.
That's the scene that was most like Spider-Man 3, where he's covering his ears, and they had the camera spinning around him like...
He didn't like the noise.
But he knows his own laundry machine. Like, why is this killing him? And then he eventually remembers, oh yeah, I can just hit the button. It's my house. So he stops the laundry machine.
Turns it off.
And then Alex tried to do one more attack.
Guy catches Alex, starts punching him in the face.
He starts beating him to a pulp under the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Alex had knocked over a body from behind one of the laundry machines as well on the ground.
It was douchebag's body.
Then he walks off, grabs hedge clippers, closes them.
And he raises them up, and then he slams them down in a quick cut.
You do hear the sound.
You hear the whoosh.
A penetration.
Ugh. Oh, it was like, oh.
I was like, oh, wow. They killed him. All right. Well, I was also upset because the girl's still alive.
Yeah, she sucks.
She's the one causing all this.
Precisely.
All these guys are doing it for this chick because this chick wants money. I think.
Why? What is happening? So she wakes up. She starts crawling. She crawls to the end of the ventilation shaft and starts kicking it open. The crawl just reaches up, grabs her, pulls her through the roof, through the ceiling.
Like Bane in Arkham Origins.
Yeah, he just pulls her down like, and pulls her down and starts beating the shit out of her.
And then I thought she was dead. He starts choking her in the living room.
Yeah.
And then they show her go lifeless, it looked like. And then I clapped. Oh, wow, this is the end of the movie. Because it felt like it was already been a whole movie length. There's been so much drawn out tension. I was like, wow, this is going to be the end of the movie. This is why critics like it.
They went too long. Like there could have been parts where it could have just ended. Like after this next part, it should have just ended. But then it kept going. It kept going.
I thought it was the end of the movie. I thought the villain, quote unquote, had won.
He did it.
He was just defending his home. You didn't find out he was a villain until
this next part. So then they go downstairs. He's got her hooked up, chained up to the same contraption that the girl was chained up to.
Chained up in that padded box in the basement.
He was like, she took my daughter.
I know everything. I know you wanted to punish her because she killed your daughter.
I didn't want to punish her.
What?
I just wanted her to give something back to me.
Huh?
You see, she took my daughter. So she needed to give me a child instead. I was like, oh shit. That's when everybody was like, oh no.
She was pregnant. She was going to give me a child. And you took that away from me. Now, you must be held accountable.
So he raised her up.
We were so giddy when he said that. Maybe
you must be held accountable. It's like a supervillain type line.
I know.
You must be held accountable.
It was amazing.
It's true right now. It's great.
That was the best part of the movie.
You must be held accountable.
Yes, she must be held accountable.
It was like some Bane type shit. Like it was great.
You must be held accountable.
So he raised her up with her legs like in the air. Yeah. Like took a knife.
She's on a bungee cord. He's pulling her up into the air. She's like 4 feet off the ground and she's facing stomach up. And she's got her legs lifted so her butt's facing out towards the wall.
She takes a knife, cuts a little spandex,
so
makes a nice hole.
Nice little route to the hole.
To the area.
Where it needs to be.
And he was like, I'm not a monster. I didn't rape that girl. And all of a sudden, this man goes to another safe, types in another code, and pulls out a jar of semen. And he takes a turkey baster.
Now, it was cold.
He had to warm it up. Yeah, he set like a fire or something. He set like a fire on a skillet and like baked it a little bit. Warmed it up like a bottle or some shit like that. And he took the semen with the turkey baster and was walking over to her. And then all of a sudden, it cuts to Alex alive. And then the spider, I was like, oh, he stabbed the wrong body. Oh, everybody was freaking out in the audience.
What I'm thinking is,
I was happy because I wanted Alex to live, man. I wanted this guy to live and get through this.
I was thinking what an idiot Coulson was that he couldn't remember. He couldn't remember where the body was on the floor.
Maybe like because he was, I don't know. He was like fighting so fiercely, or the body got moved to a certain angle or something. I don't know.
Like, he knew where he was punching him. He knew the direction the body was facing, because that other body he stabbed was facing perpendicular.
Maybe he did like a quick move.
Was
Out the way.
perpendicular.
That's what I'm assuming.
Maybe he pulled it in front of him, like he grabbed the body.
But he didn't check. He didn't put his hands down there to check.
No.
Because Alex wasn't wearing a jacket, but douchebag was wearing a jacket, so he didn't do that part.
Okay, so through a series of unbelievable blessings and coincidences, Alex is still alive, and he grabs a hammer.
He heads downstairs to save old girl. So
he had
got
another opportunity to get out of there.
He should have left. I was like, run.
Okay, let's listen. Can we get a tally of what Roxanne has done to him so far? She put him in the friend zone, flaunts her sexuality with douchebag who doesn't care about her.
Mm-hmm.
She's after the money. They had an opportunity to escape.
She uses his father's stuff. And we had no kind of backstory about him and his father's. Apparently, him and his father's relationship is actually good because his father has a screensaver of him. So why would he want to leave his father? It's ridiculous.
What is the backstory between Roxanne and Alex? It's very important to...
I'm just going to assume that they were like friends.
Did they grow up together in middle school?
Yeah. They were like...
And now she's a bad
elementary,
person?
all that good jazz type friends.
Like, I almost want a prologue sequence where Alex's friends are telling him, like, that girl is bad news. You need to stay away from her. She's trouble.
We should have got his prologue, yeah.
Yeah, and then he battles his best friend over her or something.
Instead of her prologue.
Like, he loses his best friend or something to fight for her honor, even though she's a stuck-up, nasty person because of her upbringing or something.
She a bitch.
We needed something. There's nothing for Alex. I don't know anything about Alex except that he seems like a nice guy.
I want to be on his side because he's the nicest person right now.
He is.
So it would have been great if he walked down there and saw what was happening. And she was like, help me! And he just was like, no.
That's what I was thinking too. And then you just roll credits. He just leaves the house and she's stuck in there for 9 months until she gives her baby.
Till she gives her the baby. He's like, 9 months. And then I'll give you your life back.
I'll let you go in 9 months. You know, it seems a bit sick. Okay, it's every girl's worst nightmare is having to father a rape victim, having to give birth to offspring.
Child.
Yeah. It's a horrible nightmare for women. And so this scene was kind of cringy for women in our audience. There were some people I thought I heard behind us, right?
There's 2 women behind us.
They're like, oh no.
I just like to point out, she stole $1 million from this man.
She stole $1 million. She caused the other Sarah to get killed. She's a bad person who got her own boyfriend killed. And now she's going to get her beta and protect her.
We not condoning his actions. We just saying.
In a twisted way,
she brought this on herself.
Oh, no, you're not supposed to say that.
Oh, my God.
That's like the no-no phrase. Like, you brought this on yourself. That's the big no-no phrase.
Look.
In a twisted way, I was going to say it's justice.
Yeah, it's justice. She did this shit to herself, like I said.
And if there was some, like, flash montage in Alex's head where he's about to save her and then realizes that she's the cause of all his problems in his life, and he just put the thing away and he just left her there for 9 months.
That would have been a great movie.
That would have been a good ending.
So he went down there to save him and starts banging Quarles in the head with the hammer.
Yeah, right before he was about to stick the baster into her hoo-hoo.
He gets her down, then she starts punching on him, then she takes the baster and jams it in his mouth and squeezes it.
How'd that taste? And then our audience, especially the girls in our audience, were like, ooh, yay! Oh no. Raymond's closes his eyes and falls back in his chair. He's given up a bit here.
This movie was designed for Alex to live, man. And it just didn't happen.
No.
Like,
maybe that's why the critics like it. Because don't they really like the pro-women stuff a lot?
Yeah.
Like,
that's why they like it.
I like a strong female character, and I would like her to live, but she's not a good person.
She's not a good person.
No. I don't like her.
Strong female character, but this woman was the devil. And
nothing against the actress. I enjoyed you in Evil Dead and Fun Size, but
I enjoy it too.
Whoa.
But I'm tired of this woman empowerment thing Hollywood's doing here. Even
when they're bad people.
Oh God, aren't you excited for Rogue One? Okay.
If everyone in Rogue One dies except for her, I'm going to be very upset.
Just walk out. Just demand your money back.
Yeah. I would just stand up and start walking out.
Okay, happy ending is about to occur. They tie him to the thing, lock the door.
Oh my gosh, what if she kills Darth Vader for no reason and breaks continuity?
They wouldn't do stoop to that far, Andrew.
What if Palpatine...
They're going to... This is what they're going to do. She's going to break his suit, because doesn't he wear different suits throughout the films?
Yeah.
Like he says, like in episodes from 4, 5, and 6, the buttons and things are different. So that's going to be an excuse for why he has different suits. She's going to break his suit, sir. Like half his suit's going to fly off.
So is that scene where Palpatine's kneeling in front of a bacta tank, is that her having defeated Vader in the bacta tank? And he like revives Vader again for the next scene? Like, is she going to beat Vader? If she does, I'm out. I'm out.
She probably will.
Is that Vader in the TIE Fighter from the trailer?
She's about to shoot her, and she just like...
She just caps him.
She just... We need to finish Don't Breathe.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, happy end is about to occur.
Oh, happy ending, sure.
He's handcuffed to this shit.
In case we didn't emphasize that enough, they chained Qualrich up in that basement cubby hole thing. They got out of there, went up to the basement. They did not jimmy the door again, just in case.
They start using the keys to unlock the doors. But somehow Qualrich escapes, has his gun, and shoots Alex in the back.
How did he escape?
We don't know.
Did he just rip the, like, was it attached to a cardboard or something? And he just...
He should have came upstairs without a hand. That would have made sense. Like, I was assuming, like, I was like, oh, he just, like, when Alex got shot in the back, I was like, oh, he's going to turn around. He's not going to have a hand because he cut it off. And no, he had both his hands.
Oh.
He didn't even have, like, the little metal part of the handcuff on. He just escaped somehow.
Oh, dear.
So, the movie did not end there.
Oh, good. Alex is dead.
Alex died.
But she got out.
She gets out, starts running down the street.
They unleashed the dog after her.
She turned around. No, this is cool.
Oh.
See, you like to see.
Oh, what happened?
She gets out. She turns around, looks at him. He stands on his porch. She was like, yeah, you're not good out here, are you? And all of a sudden, the dog runs out. like that shot. Like the dog runs out from the bottom. Like.
No, what I was laughing at was I thought he was going to be able to hear her at a distance and
then shoot
her and kill her in the street. I thought that was about to happen. Because she ran out in the middle of the street. He was like, yeah, what you gonna do outside? And then he like locked on to where her voice was and he was gonna just cap her. I thought it was gonna be great.
So the dog runs out. She's running from the dog.
Through some alleys and crap.
She jumps up a fence conveniently. There's some boxes stacked up next to this fence so the dog can jump over them. She goes to the car that they had parked on the other side. She gets in. She rolls up the windows.
I thought she was going to cut the dog's head off. They kept playing it up for tension.
They're not going to let a woman kill an animal, sir.
Oh, my gosh. Sheesh. F me.
That's just not going to happen.
I thought, because they were doing tension. What did you think the tension was?
I thought she was going to kill the dog somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know, cut his head off, or he was going to die somehow.
Like, I thought she was going to suffocate him in the window or slice his throat open a bit there with the window, because they kept emphasizing her rolling the window and the dog...
Yeah, it took too long for that.
Yeah, they were overplaying it. Like, the dog's not going to get through the window, so what are you teasing here? Because in the close-up shot, the dog's head is still in that window. But then they kept cutting to a side shot where the dog's head wasn't in the window. Mm-hmm. They kept changing their minds, like, oh, the dog's head's in the window, it might get sliced. And then they cut to the other angle, it's like, no, the dog's barking outside. It was stupid.
So she got that rolled up. The dog's around there. He's standing on top. There's a nice shot of him like Batman just standing on top of the roof of the car just looking at her. And so she decides to like pull the back seat out, use a bungee cord, open the trunk, prepare for the dog to come in. Dog comes in. She closes the trunk, pushes the back seat up to lock him in. The dog starts coming through the back seat again.
He's ripping through like a raptor.
He's just in there like... And somehow she was able to like snap the bungee cord onto his collar. But
it's a bungee cord.
Yeah, he was able to get stopped from biting her.
He stopped right in front of her face. I don't know. Then she gets out the car, and then Qualrich is there.
Qualrich is there.
Knocks her out or whatever.
Knocks out. And then we get the scene from the beginning of the movie where he drags her down the street. He drags us out of the house. She's laying there.
He's locking up the front door, and she's lying on the floor.
Here's one thing, though. Oh, we forgot to tell y'all these quick parts right here.
Okay.
Whenever Alex and her were about to escape, he said something along the lines of, no, we can't call the cops this time because...
Oh, whenever they handcuffed him in the basement,
Yeah.
they had a conversation in front of him in the basement. It's like, it's okay, we can take the money. He wants to use it as bribe money. As long as we don't tell the cops, he'll let us go. But we can call the cops, but we can't keep this money, or else we'll go to jail for grand larceny. I'll do whatever you want to do, Roxanne.
That's what he said?
Yeah, I'll do whatever you want to do, honey.
This fucking asshole.
And then, of course, what does Roxanne do? What does she choose?
She takes the money.
She takes the money.
Of course. Why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she?
Oh, it's for the daughter, though. The sister.
We forgot to say that he also puts the body of the woman who was chained up before into like a vat of acid or some shit like that.
The sister looks pretty well treated, all things considered. The parents are a little neglectful, but they still buy her crap. She's in a princess dress, for crying out loud.
She's coloring.
Yeah. She's okay. Like, they're treating her better than I guess they treated Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just projecting like they're still treating the other daughter bad. I don't know.
Roxanne.
Maybe Roxanne bought her the dress. I don't know.
All right, so Roxanne's laying on the floor, dying.
Then she looks at the back of her thumb, and a CGI ladybug's on there.
Ooh, symbolism.
And it spreads its wings and flies, and there's lovely sun beaming in on her face. And then she
looks for it in the distance and sees the remote control.
Yeah.
Because they tried to use it before to activate the alarm.
She apologizes to Alex. It's like, I'm sorry, Alex.
A dead body? She apologized to a dead body?
Yeah, now Alex finally gets the apology that he deserves.
He can't hear it.
Yeah.
What's she gonna do?
Oh, maybe it was symbolism. Maybe the ladybug was supposed to be the reincarnation of Alex.
The podcast over.
Podcast over?
That can't be it. That
can't be it.
That's
nope.
not it.
Okay.
This is too far.
This
Everybody
too far.
going too far. Everybody going too far.
I dreamt I was a butterfly. Zenyatta.
She grabbed the. She grabbed her remote. She turned it on, or did she?
She activated police mode on it.
It went off. His head was going crazy. She started beating him with something, and he like fell down the
with
basement.
the crowbar that was jamming the door.
He fell down in the basement. He fell on a gun and shot himself.
And shot himself because she's a female, and we have to send an anti-gun message. Like the males who use the guns are all dead.
So I was like, wait, he's obviously not dead. Oh, he's gonna come back for like a second scare. They're gonna play by scary movie rules here. There's gonna be like a they always come back kind of thing.
Ooh. Well, she escaped from the house. She's at an airport cafe waiting to get on her plane to California with her little sister. They're eating at the cafe. Then she hears a news report, walks over to the counter to look at it, and it says, Colonel Qualrich defended himself when two jerks broke into his house, and he did not report that anything was stolen, and he's going to be okay.
So that's where the movie lost me at right here. Was what's the point of that? She's in California.
Sequel bait?
Does he know how to get there? Does he know exactly where she's gonna be? He's gonna have a lot of resources, like from other vets, to find her. So these other people are gonna be accomplices to this man's crime of trying to kill her.
Yeah, that's the only implication that you can get based on the fact that he did not report the money stolen.
Is that he's trying to come back. He's gonna go back and get her.
Or maybe he doesn't want to report the money stolen because he was bribed off by those parents and it would raise questions in the community. I don't know.
But yeah, that's the end of the movie. Is he's alive, and so he could come back anytime.
And so there's a haunting shot of Roxanne and the little sister walking to their plane, and it's like an ominous-looking airport.
Like he could just be anywhere right now.
Why wasn't he there?
Because he was getting rolled off in a cart, I guess. I don't know.
It's like, why are you going to leave it open ending?
That was the dumbest part of this movie, was it left open ended like that.
Oh, man.
It's like either he kills them or they kill him.
Yeah.
Just let it lie. This could be a nice standalone film.
She's haunted by her decisions now forever. She has to be looking over her shoulders. She can never live a peaceful life even though she's going to California. That's what the critics like. The critics like that even though she's a bad character, now she can never escape. she's going to be looking over her shoulder for the rest of her life, wondering when that blind guy is going to come and get her. Or at least for the next 20 years.
She could just keep moving and just go somewhere else, or not go to California, go to New York.
I guess that's what critics like, is the ending that she's going to be living in fear, and that's better than one or the other being killed and there being closure.
I prefer closure.
Well, that's the end of the movie. General thoughts?
Like I said, I was liking the film until this ending, this open end here.
You did enjoy the rest of the film?
I enjoyed the rest of the film. I thought there was good tension where it needed to be, and what was going on was pretty cool. I would have liked if they tried to escape into the neighborhood and found out that he had traps set up in different spots. I just wanted a different type of motivation for him. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it was okay. It was okay for what the movie needed it to be. The upset about his daughter and him kidnapping that girl to impregnate her to give him another daughter. But then it was trying to not make him too much of a bad guy, because he's like, I didn't rape her, I just raped her with a turkey baster instead of my penis. So it's like, what are we going for here? Is he the good guy, or is they the good guys? Alex was the only good guy in this film, and the bad guys win. Huh?
I don't think Alex is a good guy.
You don't think Alex is a good guy? Well, he follows along.
I don't think anybody in this film is a good guy.
Nobody's in this film is a good person.
But I think the closest ones, it's a tie, actually, between Alex and Qualrich for me.
Well, yeah, I was on Qualrich's side until we found out he kidnaps the girls. He's
a really demented, troubled guy, and in his own sick, twisted way, he's getting justice. That's my favorite part of the movie, is that this guy is seeking some very demented and illegal form of justice, but at the same time, he's gonna let her go after 9 months.
Was he?
Well, he claimed he would, and for some reason, I believed him.
For some reason, I believed
that he would let her go. Maybe he would let her go, and then he would take the baby, and maybe he'd fly off to California or something with his baby.
I believe him.
For some reason.
I believe this guy. I mean, I guess if he's not going to rape her with his penis and with a turkey baster, I guess you could believe a guy who does that.
Now, wait a minute. Is there a deleted scene from the end at the airport where it wasn't just her seeing the newscast? Before she sits down in the diner, she, does a peeing pregnancy test, and she actually had a positive. She actually had the baby in her. And then she sat down and heard the newscast. That guy's going to be coming for the baby or something.
It would have made sense. He should have died, or the turkey baster should have got into her somehow, and then he should have died.
The turkey baster became sentient.
He should have put it in her, and then he dies, and then she goes off with her sister, but she looks and sees that she's pregnant. And then that would have just been now you've got this to follow along with.
If she decided to keep it.
If she decided to keep it. Now you have to live with this, and if she doesn't decide to keep it, now you got to live with this haunting thing now. Because of what you've done. Because of your actions of stealing. This is what you got to live with now. That's a better ending than what this shit was.
Maybe she had a card for an abortion clinic or something along with the test, and then she ripped up that card so you know that she's not going to go through with an abortion or something. And she decides to...
Or just leave it anonymous. Just have her put both of them in a bag.
See, that would have been a good ending if she decided to keep
and just walk away with her sister. Yeah. But she's got to live with having this guy's daughter who murdered her boyfriend and her slave.
But it's in the spirit of a troubled individual, a guy who was really tortured by the loss of his child, and you want to pay homage to him in some way, the good side of him, maybe.
I don't know. Everything else, I was liking Alex, and then he died. When he came back, when we had the shot of him and the body, I was like, oh, he's going to survive. And it made me completely forget about the beginning of the movie where he's dragging her alone. And then I was like, oh, Alex is going to do this. He's going to win it. And then he got shot in the back.
You were getting really excited that a male character is going to find justice.
He's going to do this. He's going to win, man. Last time we had that was Cabin in the Woods. You remember how good Cabin in the Woods was?
Cabin in the Woods. Actually, it was equal, Cabin in the Woods. We had a male and a female character that survived that.
They didn't survive technically, but he was. We found out he was
Shaggy
the main
survived.
Kind of character.
Yes,
because
spoilers.
he preluded to the end of the movie, and turns out he was the virgin instead, and she was the fool.
Well, this is spoilers for Cabin in the Woods.
If you ain't see Cabin in the Woods, you ridiculous.
You need to check it out.
It's the best movie.
The ending, especially. This is what you want to watch.
That scene where the elevator door is open.
Whoa. Yep. Calm down.
So,
You have more thoughts?
I like the scene with the lights out. None of the other characters work for me, except for Alex. Hated that douchebag character. I have a question. We'll finish this and I have a question for you.
Okay.
About a popular show that everybody loves now. But yeah, it's your turn.
All right. I don't have too much to say because the movie didn't have too much to say. It's a short movie. It's 88 minutes long. I would say the movie's okay. If I watched it on Amazon Prime or on Netflix or something, I would have walked away and gave it a 3 out of 5, probably. There's my first rating on the podcast ever, if you want to take that as biblical. That's probably what I would have given it on that service. It's artistic. It has a lot of style. What is it with these Spanish directors that are proteges of the Prisoner of Azkaban, Alfonso Cuarón? They have long takes and stylish filmmaking and cinematography, but very, very simple plots.
They need some better writers, goddamn.
Yeah, they need the writers is what they need. There you go. Because there's nothing to these characters at all. The majority of these 88 minutes is just fluff tension in scenes where nothing happens. A couple times is okay, and I felt tense because I felt tense because of the audio design, mainly. Because at any moment, the audio guy is going to flip a switch on his freaking audio board and try to do a jump scare. That's why I was scared. I was scared that they were going to play a loud noise. I wasn't scared about what was happening on screen because I didn't really care about these characters. There's 3 thieves. Alex likes his dad, but I have no indication of that in the movie. No scene between them. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing this for Roxanne? Just because he wants to get with her? And that's why he deserves to die? Because his relationship with Roxanne is shallow and he just wants to have sex? Is that why they felt like he deserved to die? I don't know. Why does Roxanne deserve to live? Because she has a relationship with the daughter, even though she steals. Well, Alex had a relationship with the dad. Why is the dad less important than the daughter? What about the dad's feelings after he discovers the son is dead? I don't know. I don't know. And then we know nothing about douchebag. He's just a stereotypical character that we're not supposed to like at all. There's no depth at all to his character except for that one time where he says, "That's my bitch. Of course I care." that's the one time where he sacrificed himself to save Roxanne, not telling Qualrich that there was anybody else in the house. He did one noble thing before he died. But that might also be the thing that got him killed. Perhaps if he had said that there was somebody else in the house, he would have been tortured and they might have had a chance to help him escape. But now he got just blasted.
There it is.
It seems like both the guys in this movie are only doing these crooked things to impress Roxanne.
Vagina.
Yeah, to get with Roxanne. Roxanne is the instigator. She just wants money to get out of her horrible situation, and she's going to go to any limits to get it. Instead of working hard in school or pulling double shifts at work or maybe filing a complaint with social services about the treatment of her sister in the home.
Why wasn't that mentioned in the film?
I don't know.
I tried to file a complaint with social services, but she always gets around it somehow. That's a quick throwaway line.
Yeah, easy. There's no excuse. Roxanne is just... It's supposed to be all about the sister, but I don't believe it. It seems that scene comes across as if it was not on the top of her head. Like, she's going to go to California, and then she told that to the sister, and then the sister's like, well, I want to be a surfer. It's like, oh, well, then you could come with me to California. Would you like that? It seemed like she wasn't actually planning to take the sister until that moment where she heard about the surfing. So I don't feel like she was really in it for the sister.
You know, it'd been another better ending is if it was just her at the airport by herself.
And she left the sister?
She just left with the money by herself.
See, that would have been even better. Don't pretend like she was...
Like she's a good person.
Like she's a good person. She was not. Like, if you're going to have her there with her little sister at the airport, then you need to also have her still be pregnant and choose to keep that guy's baby. And then I would know, okay, she's doing 2 things to try to redeem herself after the crap she put those 2 guys through.
She gonna name the baby Alex?
Oh, man. That would be nice. Even if it's a girl.
Pretty much agree with what Andrew said. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I recommend it for everybody who likes tension movies and horror movies, but that ending, it just I did not like.
It doesn't get interesting until they go upstairs and Alex gets knocked out the window. Then I start at least having fun with it. But it takes too long to get to that point.
Out the window. Alex, you're a genius.
It takes too long to get to that point. The coolest concepts are about the don't breathe, and that's why they called it that. In the basement sequence where the lights are out and Qualrich has an advantage, and also in the sequence where he's pointing the gun at Alex and Roxanne. Those were the two best sequences in the movie, and everything else is style over substance for me. There's not much to it, and it goes on for a long time. I don't learn a lot about these characters, so why should I care? They're doing bad things. At least in Focus, I learned some stuff about the characters, and even though they were thieves, I liked them. It was weird.
That Margaret Robbie. That's why.
Was it that?
It was Margaret Robbie
and Will Smith.
You can't not like Will Smith.
And Data.
It could come out tomorrow.
And not Data.
Yeah. It come out tomorrow that Will Smith murdered like 30 people. You still love him.
Okay, so if you want a women empowerment movie that's similar to this, here's a better recommendation that is a lot funnier and a lot smarter and a lot cooler, in my opinion.
Ooh, what's this?
You're Next.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
Did you watch that one?
I remember we saw that together, but you liked it more than me.
I liked it a lot.
You liked it a whole lot.
I was laughing hysterically at some points. That is a great movie. It's a satire of horror movies, home invasion movies with the people wear masks. And like
The Strangers and
Strangers.
House on the Left, Last House on the Left, stuff like that.
It's a parody of those type of movies where someone who's capable is inside the house and everybody else is still acting like a moron, not knowing what to do. And she's trying to slap sense into him.
It's good stuff.
So I recommend You're Next. Check that one out instead of this one. That has female empowerment, but she's a good person as well.
Oh, yeah. That was our girl from Step Up 3, too, huh?
Yeah.
Where's she been? She need to be in more films.
She does need to be more films.
Why she not Wonder Woman?
Well, anything else to say, sir?
All right. Well, we're done with that.
You want to mention something?
Yeah. All right. I think we mentioned it. I told you recommended to Noah was Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yeah.
And now all of a sudden, since then, it's become this big popular thing.
Well, you don't like it now because it's popular?
No. But I was looking at some reviews.
Okay.
And everybody was like, oh, the cool twist with the douchebag character. Did you really accept him towards the end there? Or what? I still hated that guy. Steve, what's his name? Steve? Yeah.
Well, spoilers for Steve. The first time I watched the season by myself, I actually watched the second time with my family. But the second time I watched it, I noticed a lot more in his performance at the beginning of the season that he's kind of a reluctant bully, like trying to reform himself, and the other two really are pushing him. I didn't notice it the first time. I didn't like him at all the first time, and I thought his redemption came out of nowhere. But the second time I watched the season all the way through, I noticed that Steve is trying, and the other two are kind of pushing him. So I bought it a lot more the second time. I thought it was just a fun twist the first time, but came out of nowhere. But the second time, I think they do build up to it in his performance and the way he acts when they say certain things.
I think I need to give it a second watch because the first and only time I've watched, I just didn't like him at all. I was like, I don't care about this guy's turn. And then what's her name goes back to him, and I was like, ugh.
I think it's because she was questioning him, Steve, so much throughout the season, and no other girl has really stood up to him and questioned him like that, and it's starting to make him realize what a jerk he is.
She opened them legs up for him in like episode 2.
Like 3 or 4.
It was like episode 2 or 3. I'm going to go with early episode 3, late episode 2.
But for some reason, he felt guilty about her in a way he hadn't about those other girls he had been with. And something about her was changing him or something. I guess that's a lot of girls' fantasies is that they can change the tough guy.
Mm-hmm. They learn that shit from the 80s movies. And now look at this. Look at this. It's just perpetuating that stereotype again. All I know is, season 2, I want Barb back. Make it happen.
Why is everybody doing this?
Make Barb come. Barb was a great character, sir. And she was trying to talk sense into, what's her name again? I want to say Cindy.
I don't remember her name. It's so bad I don't remember
the main girl. She was trying to talk sense into her. And they wouldn't listen to Barb. And Barb was the not attractive kind of female, but she still was pretty at the same time. Barb was great. Bring Barb back. She needs to be alive.
She's dead.
If she make her the monster dead. I want Barb to have revenge.
Barb's revenge.
Season 2, Barb's revenge. Let's make it happen.
She comes after Steve?
She comes after everybody. Yep. Steve dies first. Make it happen. Make it happen.
Oh, no.
And this time, what's the older brother's name? He has to cure Barb to stop Barb from being a monster now.
Well, it looks like the little kid's going to be the monster this time.
11?
No.
The black kid?
No. What?
Oh, you talk about the actual dude who disappeared.
Yeah. The kid who disappeared. Like, they're going to turn him into the monster because he's throwing up those slugs. And that's an excuse.
Phase shifting out of the different realities.
It's another excuse to keep him out of the group. Like in Hangover Part 2. Where it was just those three again.
You mean tell me this kid's going to be the...
He's the Doug.
The Doug. And
we can't find Doug again.
Yeah, where's Doug?
There's another monster and we can't find Doug. and then the kids have to find out that he is the monster this time and they have to kill him.
Oh, no.
Even though they spent the first whole season trying to save
11.
him.
Maybe they're going to be looking for 11. But Doug is losing his mind this time.
11's going to pull up in a time machine. I need you to come back with me.
An older 11 with like long hair, just like a...
And she looks really sexy?
Yeah.
And she got breasts and everything?
Yeah, she got breasts. Of course, if she's older, she got breasts.
Well, stick it out and stuff. And then the little kids are like, whoa. And then they start hitting on her and stuff like that.
Yeah, that one guy who had a crush on her. What's the guy's name?
So now you can pay homage to that Weird Science. You pay homage to Weird Science in season 2 by having future her all sexed up and them having to go with her on an adventure.
And the end of the Super Mario Brothers. You're not gonna believe this. They gotta go back to the Upside Down with the fight Barb's army. Why is everybody doing this? Because Barb was a great character, and it sucked that she died, man.
Did they even kill the monster at the end of Stranger Things? Because obviously 11 got teleported to the other side and sealed the portal, so she's just locked on the other side. How's she getting those egos? Is she concentrating really hard to open the box?
Pulling them from the other side?
Yeah. Why can't she just come back if she can pull the egos through? Too.
Either she blew the monster up with her mind, or she sent the monster back to the Upside Down as well. Like, maybe there'll be a different monster this time. This was like the first version of the monster, and since we're about to go through like the aliens type thing, we're gonna see the next version of the monster gonna mutate, go have wings.
Yeah, there's gonna be a bunch. Oh, so now there's gonna be a bunch of them, and the town's gonna have to.
Yeah, the queen monster.
Fight them all.
Hell yeah, I can't wait for that.
And now it's
like
gonna be
Eight-Legged Freak.
Eight-Legged Freaks is good.
The best movie.
It's been a while. I think it's still good. I don't remember.
Oh, you got...
I thought it was good.
It is?
Yeah, young Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Jo?
She's illegal, but at the time, she was around my age. No, she wasn't. She was still older than me. What am I talking about?
I don't know how old she was.
What is she, like 10 years older than us?
I'd say she's in the 30s, so about 10 to 7. Anyway, she's beautiful.
Hey, you can come on the podcast anytime, Scarlett Johansson.
Please do. Open invitation.
It'll be a little weird, but...
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
it'd be great.
Scarlett Johansson sitting here talking to us.
That'd be great. She'd be like, what up, guys? Yeah, so let me tell you about this scene. We just have a good bunch of laughs. We'll bring water for her.
You were just having a daydream right now.
Bring more bacon for her or something like that.
You're losing your mind.
It'd be great.
You could bring her some bacon.
Just come in with some bacon. Some cake or something. All kind of items from the kitchen for her. That'd be great.
Oh, dear.
She
Okay.
just get showered with all these items.
Okay.
All right. But yeah. No, I still like Stranger Things. I'm going to have to give it another watch. I'm glad it is something that got very popular because I really want Netflix to
make
be
stuff like this?
Yeah, to continue to make excellent products and to grow.
That's PG-13 in nature, too. That's an important thing. This is a PG-13 show. They didn't do TVMA. They didn't do an R-rated show like most of Netflix's shows are. I like that this is a show that you could watch with an older group of kids.
Yeah, I want them to continue on doing stuff. So I'm glad it is very popular. And I know when we saw this movie, the director was like, thanks for coming to the cinemas, but I'm done with the cinemas. You can't give me something good. Netflix is giving me good stuff. Cinema's not giving me good stuff right now.
Yeah. The only thing I would say about Stranger Things is that it's a little long, and I can almost imagine if you were very, very strict with your editing, you could cut this down to maybe a 3.5 hour long, like extended edition Lord of the Rings, one movie. Yeah, 3.5 hour long, one movie. But most people probably wouldn't want to sit through the whole 3.5 hours. Yeah. And they would rather just take it in pieces and view it at 8 hours or 6.5. Is it? It's 8 episodes.
It's 8 episodes, 40 something minutes a piece, 45 minutes a piece. So yeah, something like that. I think it was a good length.
There's just a couple times where it dragged out. Like, I don't really like episode 3, but I love episode 3's ending where they find the body at the end. For some reason, that touched me, even though I knew the truth the second time around. That gets to me. The kid.
Oh, the kid.
What they thought was the kid's, well, spoilers. Well, it's been spoilers.
If you ain't seen Stranger Things, then
Go check it out.
But yeah, I want more quality products. Also, Noah, anybody else, make sure you check out Voltron, the new Voltron series. I really enjoyed that.
All right.
It's the same art style as Last Airbender. The same people who worked on that did this too. So it was a very good show, and I really enjoyed that. See, Netflix gives me good stuff, so I gotta promote Netflix as much as I can. I'm not getting paid for it. But I got to. When somebody doing something good, I gotta show support.
I really enjoyed Daredevil.
Daredevil is
Daredevil
amazing.
and Stranger Things are some of the best TV I've seen in a long time.
It's amazing. Jessica Jones
was iffy.
It's different from Daredevil. That's all you gotta know. It's not what the Daredevil superhero thing. It's more of like a drama. I still like it. I'm very excited for Luke Cage. I'm very excited for this whole Marvel thing going on here.
The Defenders.
The Defenders, yeah.
I'm kind of excited that the Defenders, based on that teaser where it had the blind guy from Daredevil talking, it seems like the Defenders are going to be going after what happens at the end of Daredevil Season 2. Like, they're going to be fighting whatever comes out of that thing.
Out of the little shell that Electro was in?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's what it seems like, because why else would you bring him back and talking about the hand for the teaser? I feel like the Defenders...
they're going to be going after something. They're going to be fighting something big.
It's basically going to be Daredevil Season 3, but starring all these other characters as well. That's what I'm thinking.
I can't wait to see Iron Fist, too, though. There's a lot of Iron Fist references in the first season of Daredevil. The packages that they have, and a lot of people believe that Mistress Chang is actually Mother Crane. I think we had the discussion already on the podcast.
I think I might like Iron Fist more than... I don't know. Luke Cage looks fun. Maybe is it stereotypical that it's like a soulful black show? Or
I'm down for it.
A little bit of a barbershop thing going on?
It has to be. Do it. I'm all about that.
All right. Just making sure.
Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. But yeah, I'm very excited just to boost Netflix some more, man. It's just very good. They're making quality TV that a lot of networks have forgotten about. They're just throwing out reality TV and try to make some quick adaptation of something. Gotham. So I think that's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Anybody who watches that show, I think it's ridiculous because why? You're watching a show about the environment of Batman without Batman. It's stupid.
The most interesting thing they could have done in Gotham is to kill Bruce Wayne in the pilot episode.
And it had to be like an alternate reality thing?
Yeah, where Gordon has to take on all these villains that are rising up.
That would have made a whole lot more sense. Or what I personally wanted was a TV show about the GCPD with Batman in the background, the major crimes unit taking on mob bosses and some of the lesser known villains like Ratcatcher and Prometheus. Like, I wanted them to be taking on that kind of stuff. That's what I wanted that show about.
I completely forgot. That's the one villain that they teased in Arkham Asylum that never showed up in any of the other games was Ratcatcher. I
don't think Prometheus showed up either, did he?
Oh, they teased Prometheus?
Well, they teased every one of his villains in the first game. All the major villains show up in the games. All the popular major villains show up. But none of the, like, Tweedledee and Tweedledum don't show up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did allude to that. Yeah, they had the
seesaw in the first game. But they don't, like, show up as, like, actual something you can fight or...
You know what?
Or a side mission.
I wish that they had dumped the Joker angle from Arkham Knight now, and that Scarecrow and a bunch of other lesser villains had showed up in the city, like quirky people that I hadn't heard about. Because my favorite side mission is still Pig.
And that guy was like 2009-ish. What didn't they say on his little profile? He was like a very new villain.
And I was like, who is this guy? This guy is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Pig coming for you, Batman. Pig make you perfect.
That's what I wanted. A TV show about the GCPD Major Crimes Unit taking on all this stuff. With Batman in the background, you hear him fighting Joker, Mr. Freeze, something like that. But then you got to have these guys do all this other stuff.
And if Warner Brothers was smart, you'd have Ben Affleck show up for cameos every once in a while on Gotham as well. But for some reason, TV units and film units just can't get along.
Yeah, they can't.
The schedules. Ooh, we can't plan ahead TV schedules versus film schedules.
The CW is ridiculous with it right now. They got all these DC properties, but they got two different Flashes. Two different universes. They got two different Supermans now. They're putting the Superman in for season 2 of Supergirl. I don't know. How's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doing along that lines?
I don't know.
I gotta get that Nick Fury. Nick Fury showed up a few times, huh?
Nick Fury showed up multiple times in season 1, and he's the one who made Coulson the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything. Also, from How I Met Your Mother. Old girl from Hell. How You Met Your Mother.
Colby Smulders?
Colby Smulders, yeah.
Maria Hill.
Maria Hill showed up multiple times, even after the events of Winter Soldier, where she's now working for Stark Technologies. And you had Sif from Thor.
She's beautiful, by the way. Oh, yeah,
she
Sif is beautiful.
Yeah.
As well. That's my girl right there.
Sif from Thor showed up. Yeah, you had the World Consul guy turn out to be a major villain in season 3. That guy from the World Consul who said, was that the point of all this?
So they getting the film crossing over stuff.
Yeah,
correct?
with the minor characters, yeah.
Now, it's possible because Spider-Man's been known to tangle with Daredevil and all the Brooklyn people a lot, that he could cross over into the Netflix
I would
somewhere.
like that to happen.
A little cameo with him.
Just write him into the Defenders. Come on.
That would make sense.
Sony, have a little fun. Let him happen.
He crosses paths with Daredevil a lot. And Luke Cage is actually supposed to be an Avenger. I don't know if they'll actually make that happen or what.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Luke Cage is an Avenger.
Sheesh. I really want these people, at least the Netflix people, to be in Infinity War. At least the Netflix people. And hopefully Coulson. But stuff's happening with Coulson. At the end of season 3, they jumped ahead many months. I don't know if you...
I think I remember watching the season finale and they killed the Ward Hive creature.
Spoiler.
Whatever.
The Hive creature looked pretty good. They only had budget to use it in a couple shots during the last few episodes.
Yeah, I remember.
But they did a great job on getting the CGI looking good for a TV show. But anyway, yeah, they jumped forward many months. And now Coulson, for some reason, is no longer the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. And they claim it's because people still are not supposed to know that he's alive. Otherwise, the Avengers wouldn't have something to avenge anymore, I guess. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. They want to keep him as a deep cover agent. And Skye has gone rogue.
Whatever.
Skye is all goth now.
Cool.
Because she got controlled briefly. And she doesn't trust herself. And now they're going to be running into Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider's about to show up, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It'd be nice if it was Nick Cage.
Nah. I don't think it's the actual... I think it's like the second Ghost Rider or some other Ghost Rider I think I remember hearing about.
There was a guy who was using Ghost Rider's powers last season. He had a chain that he lit on fire and was using against them at the end of the last season.
That might be him.
I'm just concerned about what they're going to do with Coulson and everything. Why is he no longer the head of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Makes
It
no
sucks.
sense.
I mean, Fury gave him that honor and called him an Avenger. He called Coulson an Avenger. It's like, that's why we gave you the Tahiti juice.
Coulson is an Avenger.
You are an Avenger.
Coulson needs to show up in the Defenders. That's all I'm saying. Just pop out.
He needs to be in the Defenders, and he also needs to be in Infinity War, and he needs to do the final blow.
He did. Amen.
On Thanos.
He does. That same gun he used to shoot Loki, he shoots Thanos with the final blow.
He shoots 2 of them. He's got 2 of them now.
He's dual wielding them.
He's got Rambo. He's shirtless.
He's got like shoulder cannons of those as well. Shoots 4 of them at the same time.
Maybe Thanos kills Cap, and then he picks up Cap's shield and he charges at him and he does the final blow on Thanos.
I like that. Coulson needs his own movie. Just give us a 3-hour-long movie of Coulson.
Yeah, Coulson movie.
Call it Director Coulson. That's the name of the movie. Director Coulson.
Well, he's not the director anymore.
This is his journey to becoming a director again.
We've already gushed over Coulson on a previous podcast. That
we have gushed over Coulson.
Sorry.
And Rosario Dawson's character from...
Coulson and her need to team up.
That... What the hell those gonna do? He can't win.
You can't win.
He can't win.
It'll be like BioShock Infinite, where Coulson's got the 2 guns and his shield, and he's whooping up on Thanos, and then he needs a medic, and then she's like, "Here, Coulson!" And she tosses
him back. That's it right there. That's it. That's how you win.
That's how they save the day.
That's why they can't have the meat, sir, because that's the end of the show.
Like all the superheroes are strewn over the ground, they're all dead. It's like, you must bow to us, humans. And then the humans looking down, and then Coulson and Rosario Dawson's like, I don't think so.
Yeah!
Or maybe he picks up Cap's shield, holds in his hand, and he says, not today.
Yeah!
And then they go charge it. They lead a charge of all the humans, and he's killing all the humans. But they land the final blow. They steal the time gem, and they reset time or something, and they change the reality or something.
That's what's gonna happen. And that needs to happen. Marvel's gonna be like, cut these guys off because they ruined it. They can't. That's automatic win. So they got to keep them separate, sir. Because you combine those 2. That's it.
That's it.
Every villain is defeated.
It's over.
Every villain defeated.
Rosario Dawson, Phil
Heroes
Coulson.
win. Coulson, no, I forgot what her name is.
Frick.
The director and the nurse. That's the name of the series right there.
Director and nurse.
So that's it.
If Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. gets canceled, please consider moving Coulson to the Defenders universe. Give him something to do over there.
But yeah, we've gushed over our favorite characters a lot.
Yep. I don't have anything else.
Did we talk about Star Trek? I don't think we talked about Star Trek.
No, you want to give a review of Star Trek?
I really enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favorites of the summer right now, considering it was a lot of fun. I can understand why some people don't like it, but it made me go through all the emotions. I got emotional when the Enterprise was being destroyed. I laughed a lot at certain parts, and then I got really, really hyped up with that Beastie Boys ending. So I really enjoyed it. I recommended 4 to 5 for Star Trek Beyond, even though I hated Into Darkness. But I love the 2009 one, and I love this one. That's my quick review on Star Trek.
It was really silly, and and for me, a lot of the times it didn't land properly. Like, what was with the DreamWorks cartoon aliens at the beginning of the movie? I didn't like them.
I love those guys. I find myself quoting those guys all day. Every time I'm at work, I walk around and I go, "You don't know the forebodings like we do." It's so great, man. Those guys are great.
I just don't like how they felt like they belonged in an animated movie and not as CGI characters in a live action movie.
What is it? A weapon. Where did they get it from? They're going to strangle us and eat us. And he's like, what? You don't know the forebodings like we do. It was great. I enjoyed those guys.
Yeah, the movie is a lot sillier in its tone than the other two, not taking itself seriously, and maybe I'll enjoy it a lot more on a second viewing, I'll say that. But sometimes I found myself a little bit bored, and I thought some of the delivery was a little bland. I remember at the beginning of the movie, I felt like Carl Urban was doing an impression of his character at the beginning of the movie, and then he finally got it towards the end of the movie. Like, at the beginning of the movie, he was like, "I can't believe you, man," or whatever it is. But he wasn't sounding like him. He wasn't sounding like his character. He was sounding like, I don't know. It was weird. Something about the direction felt a little bit off to me.
You don't know the forebodings like we do. I'm sorry. I love that part. I'm sorry.
But yeah, there's a lot of fun moments and pairing off characters. I wish they had done more with pairing off characters and that lasted longer. They got back together pretty fast for my taste. Because some of the best stuff is whenever you just pair off these characters who are not supposed to be together and you find out their true feelings and how they interact. Carl Urban interacting with Spock was the best one pairing.
That was good stuff right there.
That was the best pairing of them all. And then Uhura, that random lady who hid the device in her brain.
Spoilers.
Well, I thought this was spoilers. I'm sorry.
It is spoilers, guys.
Okay,
but you
good.
do that to me every time I say something. Spoilers. Whoa, Raymond, spoilers.
Yeah, she got killed, and then Uhura feels bad. It was weird. The sequence where they were destroying the Starship Enterprise, it was a very in-depth sequence. I liked it, but it wasn't hitting with the urgency that I wanted from it. I didn't feel like the heartbreak of it. For some reason.
Like whenever stuff was falling apart, that Kirk got on the ship-wide broadcast, man, that's when I just was like, I can't do this. Oh my God.
Okay, maybe it was just the mood I was in that night. I really do need to see this one again because it had some fun stuff in it that I really enjoyed. It was more of an adventure movie than the other two. A quest together. Even the villain is completely shallow, I will say.
Yeah, I didn't like the villain. That's probably the weakest thing. And I love Idris Elba, but the villain was like the weakest part to me. I'm sorry.
And I loved the climax of the movie. I couldn't contain my laughter. It was amazing.
But a lot of Star Trek fans like it because it relates all the way back to the Star Trek Enterprise. And that's not changed by the timeline, though. Because only the original series is changed by the timeline. The Kelvin timeline. There's
also the clunkiness of the Sulu gay thing. They kind of shoved that in there a bit.
Like, why? Just why?
Where they just show him running off with the other father.
They were trying to pay homage to George Takei, but then George Takei said, no, because this isn't what... I'm sorry, Takei. This isn't what Gene Roddenberry wanted. Don't do that.
I actually really respect that guy for saying that. Like, even though I'm a homosexual, you got to respect the guy who made the show and it made me straight in the original. I like that. Now they had the same kind of controversy with the rumor that I was about to call her Zenyatta, Mary Jane being the young black girl from the Disney Channel. Same kind of.
I was about to say Zenyatta too.
Yeah, I don't know. Zenyatta's more famous.
With a Z. Her name starts with a Z. But I don't know. She's got red hair. I'm fine with it.
And then they had to find room to pay tribute to. Oh wow, I feel so bad right now. Old Spock.
Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy, thank you. I'm sorry. They had to find time to pay tribute to him as well because he had passed between these movies, and so they wrote that into the plot where Spock found out that he died.
Yeah, that he felt this like terrible thing. Some of the character like iffiness about it, because there was at a point where like James Kirk, they're already into like the 3-year mission of the Enterprise, and he's just not feeling it anymore because he was a year older than his father, and he doesn't feel like he's living up to his father's name. And
I think that kind of deflated me as well. That opening,
you?
Yeah, like he doesn't like what he's doing anymore, and then they had to rediscover that. So the whole movie is them rediscovering
why they do this.
Why they do this in the first place.
I like that though. That was good. That was,
okay.
But it was almost, it could have been like one of them stop being who you want to be kind of things. One of them Dark Knight Rises type things. One of them Days of Future Past type things. One of them Transformers Age of Extinction type things.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just pointing out all the characters that decided not to be themselves anymore.
So this is them almost deciding not to be themselves and then realizing that they really like it.
We love this shit.
We're just not doing it right anymore. We were rock and roll, and then we went mellow, pump up the atmosphere on this ship.
You gotta put some Beastie Boys on. That's what you gotta do.
So the whole conclusion of the movie was that they were missing music in their lives, and they turned a whole entire floating city into a subwoofer that destroys a whole entire fleet of ships.
Classical music. But yeah, that's it. Loved it.
I thought it was okay, and I hope it gets better on other viewings, but for some reason it came off a little bland and off in its direction to me. And it felt slight was another thing that I didn't like about it. A bit slight. Minor. I like how Simon Pegg, he wrote it and he gave himself a bigger role in What are you doing?
I'm sorry. Anybody who's seen that scene, that's the best scene in the movie so far right now.
I don't like the fact that that guy, J.J. Abrams' friend from Heroes.
Oh, he showed up in this too?
In the command center. He was the guy in the command center.
And Force Awakens as well. And then he shows up in this command center too.
Yeah.
He need to get away. He need to get out.
He does need to get out.
You need to pick a universe and stay there.
You're taking me out of this universe.
You need to pick a universe and stay there.
Exactly.
I forgot what his name was, but I know what you're talking about. Heroes do. Yeah. He need to pick a universe and stay there. That's ridiculous.
He's already going to be a recurring pilot in this new trilogy.
What? He's going to be in episode 8?
I mean, he survived, so I'm assuming they're going to keep character continuity.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Nub Nub's coming back too, or Nine Nub, or whatever the fruit.
He can't be the Wedge Antilles of this new series.
He's gonna be.
Who is the Wedge Antilles?
No,
of this
he's
new
gonna
series?
be.
No, somebody else is the Wedge Antilles of this new. That guy who goes
No.
But no damage.
No, Raymond. They murdered him.
That was 2 of them, huh?
No, there were 2 of them. You racist. You racist motherfucker.
Racist. I'm telling you, I thought there was 2 of those aliens.
That was my favorite guy during the end battle.
It had to be 2 of those, because that same alien race was standing behind Rey whenever she was doing the exchange with Simon Pegg's character. Because I watched that movie quite a few times. That same alien race is standing behind. That guy's a secret agent.
There was a whole subplot with that guy where he helped Poe Dameron get off the planet.
That's it.
And then he became a pilot, and he was supposed to be the Luke Skywalker of the series who got off the planet and became a hero, and then they shot him down and killed him.
that guy is the new Wedge. This alien creature is the new Wedge of the series.
But no damage. Somehow he survived.
No damage.
That guy's amazing. I need to hear that voice coming out of that head some more.
But no damage.
But no damage. And the way he turned around, he like turned around and just looked at you. But no damage.
What else we got? I think that's it. I think we covered everything. Hopefully I get my PS4 hooked up again. Got an itch to play. Dare I say, Destiny. You monster, Ray.
You are a monster. What are they charging separately for that DLC?
It is the final thing.
How much do they want for that crap?
I don't know, but they charge $60 for the collection. I'll give you
maybe. I don't know. I'm spoiled. I'm spending $5 for whole games on the PC.
And he's like, you might get $1.
What? Yeah, I'll give you $5 for the DLC.
They like, nah, cause we want a full $40.
I bought every single one of the Arkham games for $5. What?
Taken King was $40, huh?
Yeah, it was. Frick.
That's how much this one's gonna be, $40.
Screw that.
Damn.
But I'm gonna buy it if you buy it.
They're just gonna buy it if I buy it. Then
I'll help
Sarah's
you.
gonna get it. Sarah! Woo woo!
Oh, this is the first time you mentioned her.
This is the first time we mentioned Sarah. Awkward.
Yeah. What you gonna do?
We played Destiny with Sarah, but then we hadn't played with Sarah in like months.
Hey, that's what happened with the DLC too. It was a year went by, and then the DLC came out, and then we just started playing nonstop again. It was
so
crazy.
now we got to get DLC, play nonstop till December.
She might have other buddies by now.
No, Sarah, you can't have abandoned us. Please.
She's gonna hear our comments about women on this podcast.
No, she doesn't. She loves us. Well, she loves you. You're her favorite.
Oh my gosh.
She just tolerates me.
No. Women like the ones who are more aggressive towards them. That's why they go for bad guys. So the fact that
I'm not a bad guy, though. They can sense that I'm a good guy still.
Yeah, and that's what makes you a little bit more appealing because you
Oh my God.
you annoy them
I am not that appealing.
because you conflict with them, but you're also a good guy. And that's attractive. That's attractive, sir.
Is that what it is?
You got to play that up. You got to be more grinding towards them, but at the same time you're still the good guy.
It's like, I don't like the color shirt you're wearing.
Bitch.
I'm not going to say that.
I don't usually curse on the podcast, but since I've been saying that word nonstop on this one.
Whoa. AE movie guy.
Uh,
You don't know the AEs like we do. I'm sorry.
oh my gosh.
But yeah, hopefully I get everything taken care of. Hopefully I find a new home. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all want to donate me a house, please do.
Oh my gosh. Don't be.
I said a house. I know they can't get a house.
Oh my gosh.
Unless somebody like airmails
we do
us
not
a house.
have a donation account here at the PLP.
We don't. But
What but?
if you feeling generous,
You're feeling generous.
if you feeling generous, I'm not trying to guilt you into anything. If you feeling generous, that's all we're gonna leave it at, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh. Well, for the sellouts, that sounds like a sellout note to end it on.
we selling out.
You want money.
I don't want the money.
You want money.
I want.
They must be held accountable.
There it is.
Oh my gosh.
We can't be
Wow.
like those other people. You're right, Andrew. We can't be like those other people.
Yeah.
Just send me your well wishes, ladies and gentlemen.
There. That's good.
Anything else we got?
No, I think that's a good note to end it on. Well, this is about an hour and 10 minutes longer than the actual movie. Hopefully after editing, some of that comes off, but I'm trying to let it breathe a little bit more. Starting with the Ghostbusters one, there's a little bit more air in between our sentences.
Don't breathe.
Nice face. Okay.
Oh,
Can't stand it. From your planet. Okay, for the parking lot projectionists, I'm Andrew.
I'm Raymond.
Shutting it down.
You don't know the forebodings like we do.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Boop, boop, beep.